Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy, you're invited.
Shalom, everybody. Shalom. You know what? This is what we're going to do. Before we get it in, I want to introduce to you guys a new video that I was going to play last week. Okay, if you already haven't saw it, you know, and if you have saw it, it's all good. But let me go ahead and get that for you guys. Fair use for educational purposes only. Before we get into this, you understand this topic tonight. Peace and blessings. I'm Elder Rawchaa, Tuesday night, G.O.C.C. Media, and we're about to get it in. Peace and blessings to you and your families, the elders, the elderly. You understand, you know, everyone. The children is something that even the children can watch tonight, all right? So I just want to put that out there, because keeping our temple up to par is the only way that we can be able to endure to the end. If our body is not in shape, if we're not healthy, guess what? It doesn't mean anything. So, but before that, since we're talking about the healthy food, and I'm drinking some, you know, my wife just juiced me some stuff. Tastes like a little carrots and ginger in there. I just got through taking my omega 369 gummies because we hit a lot of reps today. We're going to go ahead and put on something called juiced beets, because Jews then hopped on the beet and then squeezed all the juice out of it. We then hopped on it and killed it. Okay? Brothers from Detroit. Brothers from Cincinnati, Ohio. Wherever Kev Over the Truth from. I don't know where you're from, Kev Over the Truth. I don't want to mess it up. And then brothers from H-Town. So, anyway, it's called Juice Beats. Get your mind right. Let's get it, baby. 1 second. Fair use. Y'all ready? Let's get it. You got to be hot or cold, baby. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm about to hit up Prince of Tasquat right now. Let them know already. You know, we need a visual for this thing.
Already, let's get
You know,
it.
that's if they can do it. You know how they, you know, sometimes they be busy as heck. So
Let's see what it is.
Shalom, D.
hey, Shalom, my king. Hope you're doing well. How you doing, King? You all right?
I'm blessed. I'm doing good. How you doing?
Oh man, I'm cooling with the wind, baby. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, real quick. You know how we shot that? We actually did a little audio to this Juice Beat freestyle, right? Now listen, what I need y'all brothers to do, we need to have a visual for this thing, like right now. You know what I'm talking about? I don't care where y'all at. You know, call the brothers up. You know, hit up Samiyam, hit up what's his name? Hit up Kevo on the Truth. You know what I'm talking about? Let them know right now, wherever they at. You know what I'm saying? Get a microphone and start rapping to it right now.
Let's get it.
I'm close to Brother Sami Young, so I can hit him up real quick, and we can make it happen real quick. We gotta make it happen right now.
Hey, y'all don't be on no J time, man. You know what I'm talking about? We gotta get it. We gotta make it happen.
That's Esau time. Let them brothers know now. You know what I'm saying? I know it's gonna be a different setting, but listen, check this out. It's gonna be a freestyle that these people never seen before, so we're gonna drop it, make it hot. You know what I'm talking about?
Let's get it.
All right, my king. Peace out and shalom.
Shalom.
Hey, hit me up when y'all finish with that video.
All right.
All right, shalom.
Shalom.
All right, you ready?
Get it, baby.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Neutron.
10 toes down, got my armor on, it's time to go. Ain't worried about those who really down, just know the time will show. Watching my surrounds like it's watching mine's a lot of foes. Trying to catch you blind, observe the time just like the prophet though. Gotta know, the clock is winding down, on my grind for show. Never know when your clock can stop, what you grinding for? I grind for gold, came up out that mud just like a blinded mole. Now I know, second root, them 12 parts is counted for. The murder, the hate, tsunamis, earthquakes. But wait, it's demons coming out them CERN gates. They don't know what's at stake, rather play, then run back to the maker on that day. But it's too late, you better pray that you straight, not all over the place. Hell is real, but they say it's on earth, but I can't say that it is. Putting in work, bringing my brick, flipping my talents, perfecting my gift to get crowned in the end like a torch I stay.
You gotta be hot or cold. I found the truth, it's like I stumbled on a pot of gold. You don't help the poor or fatherless, then you ain't got a soul. I just wanna kick it in the kingdom, I got soccer goals, so I'm working like it's double me. Don't think I got a clone. No, it's not the activists they drinking on that got them gone. It's the wine of Babylon they hiding in that styrofoam. Set apart, things gon' get dark when Christ slide to Rome. Better pick what side you on, cause we chose the winning side, and that's for whoever's on demon time. Line up on line is how we heal the blind. Holy days, hope you in the building, cause it's building time. We men of God, just to clear the air like humidifiers. May not be a Muslim, but you live a lie. Christ coming back to crack the teeth of the sinners. It's gonna look like many bit of bomb. Bottom line, this the path you don't wanna minimize. All glory, what we get a God. Shalom.
Reached the surface of the water, came up brand new, greater purpose introduced, introspective, intellectual, breaking through a shrewd world where they wither cause of the root, present with the absence of fruit, get actually viewed foolish, go against the ruler, bending rules, twisting statutes, they out of their medulla, ain't no secret, this black sheep seek approval, opposite of what the world grooms, in tune, I'm none of the usual, spiritual interlude, commemorable, help me search within self, deep dive like a swimming pool. Now I'm sticking to the word like a tentacle. Out of the mouth of the babe like an embryo. Humble student of the kingdom, they don't want the principle. Raining, don't you show up late, 1,000 the interval. Fearfully made, shaped to be great. By the sculptor's palm, every atom, every molecule, every neutron.
Father, forgive us, for we know not what we do. In a world full of lies, I'm just trying to speak the truth. Let my light shine brightly whenever I'm in the booth. Some endure through this walk, most give up and call it truth. Read Genesis, a man's heart is wicked from his youth. But we can overcome sin, Yeshua is living proof. Send prayers of but a root. To my closet I commute, saying Matthew chapter 6 3 times a day, no dispute. Before a higher woke us up, as a people we was lost. Time to leave the world behind. I ain't talking Ethan Hawke, of course you know the flow cold. Ain't no need to hit the frost, use this talent God bless me with to shake these demons off. Repent now if you a warlock, unknown to cast spells or get sent to the abyss. Way below, that's hell. Painting pictures with these words, I'm an artist, pastel. For the spiritual knowledge, I'm fortunate, Maxwell.
Never exaggerating, when I tell my stories, man, I have to make it facts I'm stating. Never will I walk around here masquerading exacerbation. When I see my people making pacts with Satan, disaster in it. For the people of the promise in the past, with Abram, back to ancient ways of living in the tank for thinking grass is fading. Winter coming, hope you wrapped in blankets, famine came in. Situations been exacerbated, chapters caving. In the cave of darkness, cause your lamp is fading, damn it's flaming. Pen on fire when attached to paper, mask my anger. Unless I ever feel my family in danger, I grab the stainless. Or ask the angels, drop some acid rain. I have the patience to wait and finish you like after painting emancipated. From your kind of time is back for Jacob, master masons. Degrees hot in 33, shackled in Hades, shining on you with his sun, so you acting shady, evaporate, leaving you dry after your raining.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. That is what I'm talking about. Hope you guys like that. that's something we did a few weeks ago. I mean, it was fun. It was beautiful, man. And we're going to keep it coming. A lot of you guys, you know, you probably didn't know spit bars like that. But, you know, G.O.C.C. got some heavy, got some heavy bar spitters. You know what I mean? Listen, we're drinking the blood of Christ, the Holy Spirit from the bar. So we got to be able to spit it out the mouth. You know what I'm talking about? So anyway, that was Juice Beats, something healthy for you to drink and listen to. You understand? And stay tuned for more. The beat was original, okay, from Matt Neutron. You understand? So, man, that was beautiful. Shout out to all the brothers who got on that, who supported that track. We have a lot more to come. Shout out to everybody who came to the actual event. Last weekend. I mean, what an amazing special event. I mean, it was so powerful, so peaceful, so beautiful. No pun intended. There was a wedding going on, actually at the hotel that we were staying at the convention center. So you had two weddings going on. You had, let me tell you, you got the spiritual pre-wedding. You understand, the Christ, and then you had an actual wedding going on with our people there. And when we were coming out the elevators, they thought we were a part of their wedding. We like, nah, we are part of the Lamb's wedding. Not that they were doing anything wrong, but look at that. I mean, look at the irony in that. So it was so beautiful. Got to see all my brothers and sisters getting along in the same building and keeping it righteous, keeping it holy, walking around on the white carpet, showing the world that regardless of what they tried to say about Israelites, what they tried to say about, you understand, the so-called Native American, the so-called Hispanics and the so-called Negroes, West Indians, Hawaiians, right, Australians, regardless of what they try to say to us, about us around the world, we are showing them our definition of what we are. Okay, so we would ask them, before you put out all of these, criminals that you guys created with your media and your television, your clone Tyrone inventions, that you also play these things. But obviously you won't do it because you have control of the media. But there's two sides to every story. And obviously it's nothing shocking that every culture, every nation would have some good and some bad. The Bible itself says that the Most High would spare a tenth and then save 1/3 from that. So it wouldn't be so shocking about that. That's the whole point of why we went into sin, because we had people who were disobeying our God. That's not something shocking, but it's you seem to only want to play those things. Okay? But anyway, we're going to start with something that's very important for the times that we are in. I was going to do it last week, but hey, I'm glad I got a little break because I had to prepare for you understand, the event, the Royal Gala event. And if it be the Most High's will, we will have another one, if it be his will, because we are in the midst of great prophecy. And guess what? The kingdom of our people. And we all want to hold on tight, do what we need to do, not doing something silly and crazy in hour of temptation, knowing that there's rules and regulations that the Most High is still looking at in this thing. I know we come together, we have fun with the music, and we do all these things, but we still want to make sure we keep everything in decency and order and not just get caught up in the moment of excitement. Fornicating, committing adultery, gluttony, sin, right? Let's keep everything royal, holy, and positive, and let us take the initiative to do these things as mature spiritually men and women without having to be told everything. I mean, sometimes it seems as if, we forget that we still want to make sure we have honor in this walk. Things that our parents and our mothers taught us. And if they didn't teach you, I'm teaching you today. The Bible told you in Exodus 20, don't covet your neighbor's husband or wife. Don't covet this, don't covet. Not that anybody's doing these things, but we want to remember we are in some times where the devil is walking around as a roaring lion, seeking who he may devour. And it's so deep because that lion is an actual demon in the Testament of Solomon. So it's a real demon lion, okay? And We don't want to get caught up in the, you know, in everything that's going on right now. So let us keep mind on that and pray for one another that we stay strengthened and stay strong in these times. Now today, we're going to be talking about, because I'm going to do a video very soon for you guys. It should be common sense to some, but I tell you what, it's sure not common sense to everyone. So, unfortunately, it's just not. It's really not. I mean, people, you know, claim to be Israelites, but all Israel is not Israel, unfortunately. And you know, I at this age and so long that I've been in this truth, I mean, obviously you get tired of it, but it's just really, at this point, it is what it is. People are going to choose. The Bible says, let the wicked continue to be wicked and let the righteous continue to be righteous. Talks about that in Daniel. So, it is what it is. We won't be able to say that we haven't been told. So we just want to keep praying for one another and stay on point because our kingdom is near. Okay? But tonight, like I said, soon I'm going to be doing actual video, small video presentations on the topic of the grain, the wheat, the daily bread, how important it was to get that daily bread because it was like a multivitamin in the past. Why it's so important to do it, you know, fresh as possible because, right, there's oil inside of the wheat grain. Right, so we're going to talk about that today, a little bit of that. We talked about it, I think, 2 weeks ago. And we're going to go through it for you guys. Some of you guys are already out there making bread and doing this. But there's many people, besides the handful, who does not understand what I'm talking about at all. They think because they get some bread on the shelf that says organic, and guess what? If you need to go and get that bread, go and get that bread. And God will cover you through his grace, right? Through your ignorance. But once you learn better and you know better, you should do better, in my opinion. It's not law, because as long as you're eating bread, as long as you're eating things that God said is good, hey, he said we should eat poisons and not die. But once again, once you know something, he expects you to do better, because now that grace comes off because you actually know better. That's what grace is for. Right now we're under grace because we didn't know we were Israelites. We're waking up to the new law, statutes, and commandments. But once we actually start to know, we get judged by now what we know. Okay? So there's bread in the freezer. I just want to show you there's bread in the freezer. Ezekiel bread in the freezer. Why is that one in the freezer and not on the shelf? You have to be the judge of that. You have to do the research and ask yourself this question. Why is there bread on the shelf that says organic? And why is it lasting a long time? Okay, well, I'll say this. Different times, different temperatures, whatever house you're in. If you're freezing it, obviously it's going to last long. But if you just leave it on the shelf, why is it lasting long? If you grind fresh bread and you see it, only lasts for, I mean, 1 to maybe 4 days, maybe, depending on how you store it. It was not meant to last forever, guys. It was not. Okay, there were not any refrigerators in the past. Everything was eaten fresh. So we want to talk about all of these clowns out here, these fools, these silly people. And guess what? Also the people who have good intentions, but sometimes take their own opinion and make it another person's law, rules, or righteousness. Okay? And guess what? This lesson tonight is not to tell you what you should do. It's to give you the information and for you to take it how you want to take it. To those that have ears, let them hear. Okay? Because guess what? I've been doing this. I could have came out with this lesson a long time ago. I've been doing this a long time. One, in Egypt, we had to make everything from scratch. It's really a normal lifestyle for us who left to Egypt. We had to come together with our own seasonals. We had to make everything from scratch. It's really nothing new, but that doesn't mean we knew everything and we learned everything. Over time, you just continue to get to learn more and more. And you still will never stop learning if you continue to keep yourself open to these things. So we want to discuss, and I don't want to bash the people out there like Yaki Awakens, and you know, you got this older elder. And when I say elder, I mean a man of age, a hoary head man. He's a very frail. I don't want to say frail. I don't want to be negative. He's very thin. People can choose to be what size they want to be because he eats. He only eats. You ever seen the guy out there with the long, beautiful dreads, and he looks Benjamin. He has the white hair, and beautiful brother. But he's always drinking. He's always drinking juice. Tells you not to drink water, even though the Bible tells you to drink water. And he's always talking about veganism. I'm not, obviously there's always going to be some things that these guys says is right. Some small amount of things, but I'd rather not hear these guys who are men and just listen to what my God already said. And tonight we're going to be talking about that. All you really have to do is get everything in its right form, right? You just have to get everything in its right form. And not only that, why I'm not going to go into bashing these guys, because guess what? These guys are lost themselves. They are also lost. And their diet has something to do with their religion and their gods that they worship. It is. So when you guys fall off and you're listening and you're not rooted and have a foundation, you actually just... your mind becomes all over the place. Where the Bible says, don't be tossed to and fro, with every wind of doctrine. Just listen to what the Bible already said. And I'm going to talk to you about it tonight. You have people saying you should not eat sugar. You should not eat butter. You should not eat oil. Grapeseed oil is good. Actually, none of the seed oils are good for you. You have people who say you shouldn't eat oil because it's going to make you fat. Couldn't be further from the truth. I'm not here to preach to you to eat my diet. I'm not here to preach to you to eat another man or woman's diet. We're going to talk about that today because the Bible talks about in Ecclesiasticus that all things are not profitable for all men, depending on if you took certain shots when you were young. Maybe your body registers something that's actually good for you in a bad way because they've made our people weak. They've brought them very low to where it's even something good can register for them now wrong. So it would take time for some people, because we're organisms at the end of the day, to get our bodies back, to get our gut back, to get our microbiome. You understand, all of our bacteria in our bodies, our guts back in order. So the easiest way to do that is to just stick to what perfection already perfected. And that is the Creator himself. Ahaya Ashur Ahaya. The almighty I am that I am, the omnipotent one, the magnificent one. He already perfected it. Why should man come along and act as if he now is better than the Most High God himself? Misinterpreting scriptures, teaching people that they should do this or do that. We're going to talk about it all in there. We're going to show a few videos as well. We're going to show a few videos as well because I know... and I might have to have a part 2 depending on how long this goes. Because I have a lot of vast information in scriptures. But I want to try to get through it because I have to get up early in the morning and make sure I get to that gym. Make sure I continue to do my work that I have to do. I have a lot of work to do always. That's just what I do. I stay on my game. I stay busy. And understanding the times that are here. I have no time to just chill. I mean, most of the things that I do is maybe chill with family a little bit every now and then, and church things. That's my life. I don't have time to just hang out for the most part. I am not promised tomorrow like you are not, and I must do the will of God. So I want to see, do I want to go into... You know what? Let's go into Romans 14 first. Before I go into any of these videos. Let me pull it up for you. Give me 1 second. Let me pull that up first. I mean, I have a... Yes, indeed. This is going to be a lesson you don't want to miss. I'm going to tell you right now. This is going to be a lesson you don't want to miss. And let me tell you, We are all constantly learning, but some of us are living this life. Some of us are close to mastering it if we did master it. Some of us are actually, we are the experiment ourselves from doing a lot of these things. I mean, I'm doing, me and my wife doing massive research now on, you understand, something else out there that we're going to bring some more information about. And let me tell you right now, I'm not going to bring it out right now, but it's Esau went out his way to make sure that he can try to even the playing field with us when it comes to taking synthetic steroids, taking things out of our diet, weakening our immune system. And I was overseas in Africa. Steroids are normal. You can just go in the pharmacy and get steroids. They could not figure out how a guy 185, I was 175 in Egypt. I didn't become 185, I think, until I went to Europe. How is this guy 175 pounds squatting 400 or 500 pounds? We're Jacob. Jacob is different. That's how Samson can take the gates and the bar of the gates and take it all the way to the mountain, to the hill. We're different. And that's on the wrong type of foods. So imagine you eating the diet that our forefathers actually ate, which man today, this new age man today, is telling you is wrong. Fools they are. Our God will never be wrong. Right? They all of a sudden have became right. They think they're deep because they don't eat meat. I'm not here to push for a person to eat meat or vegetables. I'm here to tell you God's diet over you and your thoughts. God's diet over man. You will never be more right than your God who created you. I don't give a what you say. Your God will always be right. He created you. You can break down whatever you want to break down about wheat. He is the one who made it in its origin. Find it in its origin as best as you can. You are going to be wrong tonight. Beyond any shadow of a doubt. I can bet you $1 million I don't have. Right? Stick with your God, because our forefathers didn't, and we got into this position. Stick with your God, because Adam and Eve didn't listen, and then they got us into this position. Right? And make sure that you get in our Hebrew and Bible Academy, because there's some things that I can't go into every detail about, because we already teach it in our Hebrew and Bible Academy on a higher level. Okay? So Adam and Eve, lots of people, well, Adam and Eve, they weren't eating meat. And, listen, we all know when you read the book of Adam and Eve, right, when they were going against the devil, that they can actually see into the heavens, the angels singing. Their eyes were different. Obviously, their diet was different. They didn't know they're naked because their bodies were different. When they fell, they had to depend on the things of the flesh. It tells you literally in the book. It literally tells you in the book of Adam and Eve. It literally tells you that. So, of course, they didn't have to eat meat in that time. But their bodies fell victim now to the fleshly things. So now they would have to depend on flesh to survive. And we're going to prove it. We're going to prove it with the scriptures, not with opinion. We don't need Israelites who we woke up to now tell us what's right and what's wrong. This is the backwards thinking of Israelites. Okay? When they came to flesh, their bodies now depended on the flesh, not vegetables. That was really never really mentioned as a sacrifice in the Bible, and we're going to prove it all. It always mentioned oil, which is a fat, sugar, which is a carbohydrate, which was wheat, and guess what? The first thing was always what? Protein and meat. And after it got burnt Whatever was left over went to the Levites, and they were eating meat every day. I used to wonder why when I would have my Nigerian friends, I remember I went to a rich house, very rich area. They gave me some food and I was used to eating soul food. They gave me a big chunk of meat. And I'm like, why is these African dudes over there so swole and huge? And I'm not talking about the dudes eating porridge. We're not talking about the ones that's eating porridge. We talking about the ones that actually have a little money. And they put me a big thing, like they went to go cut a cow or something. And I had a big old kingly tray with a big chunk of meat. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this? It took me years upon years to realize as the children grow, how they're lacking protein. I remember my brother came back and he went to the doctor and they said, your blood sugar is going this way because you need to eat more protein. And it was just contrary to everyone saying, hey, we need to go vegan. Maybe we need to eat more vegetables. And it's like, how does that? He's eating pretty healthy here. He's eating a lot of vegetables. You need to eat more protein. And it was like, man, that's just not making sense. I thought vegetables were more healthy. So I had to do a little bit more studying. And I said, boy, as I got further and further, it just constantly just showed me Esau really redirected us. Red meat is bad. This is bad. All of the things that colloidal silver, right? All of the things that I can't even mention on here. And when you see them, when you go to their house on the side that they're dealing with, and when it comes to the red meat, they're not only just eating the red meat, they're eating it raw. We can never eat the life of an animal, as the scripture says. But they'll tell you to stay away from it. But not only are they eating it, but they're eating it raw. I said, boy. We can't just believe anybody. We really need to understand our God, why everything was so, and what's the purpose of everything. So let's go into it. Romans 14 first. Romans 14. No philosophy is needed, just the precept upon precept, line upon line. Here a little, there a little. Right? That we may be justified by God's word itself. It stands alone. We don't need opinions of men, because a man gives an opinion. We don't know what he went through in his life, what vaccines he have taken, what type of ailments he may have, what he's dealing with. Only the Most High knows those things. So we have to go by the Creator himself. Chapter 14, Romans 14 and 1. Him that is weak in the faith receive ye. A person who was young-minded, still drinking milk, still new to the truth, who assumes all of these things that, hey, we should not be eating meat because we didn't eat it before, and they make a whole doctrine in their mind about it. Those are the people who's weak. It's not belittling them. It's saying they're weak in their learning. They're still young. They're still new. They are very zealous. They want to serve the Most High, and all of their intentions mean well. To the pure, all things are pure. But what is it saying here? Him that is weak in the faith, receive you. Receive him. It's no need to get into arguments, it's going to say here, but not to doubtful disputings. Shalom, Elder Dale. Thank you, sir. My man. Good to see you again at the gala. But not to doubtful disputations. For one believeth that he may eat all things. Meaning, there's one who's grounded, who understands that he can eat everything the Most High said that he can eat. Talking about the versus battle of vegans, vegetarians, and meat eaters. It's always been this thing from the ancient times that people made things up in their mind of how they felt when they ate only vegetables. I'm one with the earth, Mother Earth. Don't you know that, once again, I'm going to prove to you that it's just a great detox, and it's nothing wrong with doing it. And guess what? Whoever chooses to do whatever they want to do, so be it. But you're going to notice the attitudes of those who only eat meat only and those who only eat vegetables only. And those who actually just eats what the Most High told them to eat. The fats, the proteins, see? Yeah, the vegetables, the herbs. And when we talk about vegetables, the herbs are spices. Who's going around eating a bowl full of basil? Who's going around eating a bowl full of mint leaves? Who's putting all the herbs together and making a salad out of only herbs? Who's doing that? I want to know who's doing that. He gave you herbs for meat. A cucumber is not a herb. It's a vegetable. A pumpkin is not a herb. See? It's a gourd. See? A watermelon is what the Bible calls summer fruits, because it calls it summer fruits because you need electrolytes more than water in the summer. So a lot of people who philosophize, they're right in some things, but they also make up doctrines along the way with these things. But the Bible has a purpose for all of these things. He gave you herbs for meat. So why are you smoking weed and not eating it? Even though it's the devil's plant. And Azazel and the fallen angels, they did root cuttings. They did grafting. No different than, hey, the angels in heaven. They knew how to work the plants. But these guys came down teaching men to do wrong, and they knew how to manipulate, genetically modify things just like today, while we have to try to find things non-GMO and more so heirloom and organic, but even organic is being tainted. See? So, for one believeth he may eat all things, meaning all the things that the Levitical law talked about. Where for some reason a vegan who's following the same God forgets about Leviticus, that the Most High said he can eat all of those things. In his mind, no different than some other Israelite camps who doesn't know that Gentiles are going to make it in the kingdom. It's like, do you read the whole Bible? Do you not read the whole Bible? Where are you getting that the Bible said only eat meat, but Leviticus said they can eat fish, this type of birds, this type of cattle, this type of livestock? What book are you reading? That's when you know someone's dealing with a doctrine. That's when you know someone's dealing with a false doctrine. And they are blinded and their conscience is seared with a hot iron. Hopefully not. People can do what they want to do, but you're not going to add or take away from the Bible. The Bible never said only eat meat. It never said only eat vegetables. There's a diet we're going to talk about today, that if we stay with this specific diet, we can live a long time according to the will of God. When it comes to eating the right fats, the right proteins, and amino acids, see? And whatever small things the body will get rid of itself, You will not get everything perfect, not in this day. Whatever you can't, hey, the body will get rid of it, especially if you're eating everything like you're supposed to here. Okay? If you don't have cholesterol, you die. The brain deals with cholesterol, guys. When you see something that says no cholesterol, how stupid is that? All fats have good cholesterol. I mean, the good fats, the healthy fats. So when you see something saying no cholesterol, it's like, what? Going to get into it. For one believeth that he may eat all things, another who is weak, who is young, who is unlearned, eateth herbs. The people who say, oh yeah, Adam didn't have to eat meat. Guess what? You're right. But he sure did after. Look at those skins that he's wearing. Look at those skins that he's wearing. An animal had to be sacrificed for him to put those skins on now. Because before that, he had a spiritual body. He was going to live everlasting, and the Most High was going to transition him into the way that he wanted him to. like a baby to a grown-up. That's why Christ had to ask him when he came in the garden, who told you you were naked? Who told you that? Okay. So now you're going to be flesh. Your eyes will also be flesh. You will not be able to see, right, past the firmament into the heavens where the angels are singing to the Most High. Your eyes will change. Everything will turn to the flesh, and you will now have to depend on the flesh. Whereas before, hey, you like when we come into the kingdom, you can eat the fruits and survive, and they will heal you or whatever the case may be, right? So, and obviously not only fruit. There's this doctrine out there that people eat only fruit. Garbage. Every doctrine like these diet doctrines are garbage. There's going to be fruit on the tree that you can eat to keep you healed from year to year. But then he also said he gave you herbs for meat. But he wasn't only talking about herbs. He was talking about also vegetables. That's what people take one word and use it for themselves, or bend all the words all over the place. He never said go and smoke any green. You never see people smoking oregano. You never see them smoking cilantro. See? There you go. People do what they want to do. And guess what? We're going to prove to you how those who only eat meat, why they may, and no offense, because if someone needs to do what they need to do to get healthy to a certain point of state, to only juice, to only eat herbs, that's what they need at the time for their bodies. We're not against anything that gives glory to the Most High God. So you're not going to taint the word of the Most High tonight for that either, because there's some people who said, listen, I'm only juicing right now. I'm only eating vegetables right now. I need this for me right now. We're not talking about those good people who understand the purpose of why they're doing what they're doing. Because those people don't need to come back and say, hey, you shouldn't do what you're doing because I'm doing what I'm doing, or I'm going through what I'm going through. That's not what we're here for tonight. We're not here to discourage people who may need to do something to get better. See, one thing about me, I'm that person who's talking about right here. For one believeth that he may eat all things. I'm drinking a little juice. I'm taking a little supplements. I'm eating me a little meat. I'm eating me a little wheat. I'm eating me a little eggs. I'm eating me a little fat. I'm eating me a little vegetables. I'm eating me a little herbs to make that thing spicy. I'm eating me a little salt. See? So let me tell you, the food too good for me to be worrying about what somebody else vegetables they eating. If that's what they want to do, I'm not tripping on them. This food is too good right now. Me licking my fingers to be worrying about what somebody else is talking about over there. And if they vegetables are so good, they wouldn't be worrying about what I'm doing. If they juice is so good, they wouldn't be worrying about what I'm doing. That's the thing, how you know someone's dealing with some madness. If that juice is so good, because let me tell you, this juice is so good, but when them chicken wings come out that oven tonight, crispy, finger licking chicken. This juice is good and all that, but it's something about that sweet smelling savor because I'm made in the image of the Most High. It's something about that savor, something about that smell, something about that fat when it's crickety crackling. But that's for me. It's so good I don't have time to worry about somebody eating their vegetables. Because guess what? I got some of their vegetables over here too. Because I'm agreeing with them. Hey, them vegetables good too, along with this meat. But for some reason, they're mad. It must not be that good. That's no different in a relationship. If your relationship with your husband or your wife is that good, why do you covet another's? Must not be that good. You must not be happy to be gossiping about another person. See? And you got people, yeah, I go to the gym. People is lonely. The gym is nothing but a club now. I'm in there with my wife working out. Beautiful sisters in there. Handsome men, strong men. For some reason, everybody watching me. I'm not worried about them. I'm in my own world. Watching me, watching my wife. Hey, that's just how the world works. If it's that good, what you worrying about me for? And what I'm doing? Can't be too good, huh? See? You got to be at one with the Most High. We're going to get into it tonight. So, verse 3 says, on that note, let not him that eateth despise him that eateth not. Because guess what? When I'm eating my meat, I'm not despising you or worrying about you. When you eating them vegetables, don't despise me and worry about me. That's what the Bible says we're reading right now. And let not him which eateth not judge him that eateth. For God had received him. The Most High actually did not accept the Cain's sacrifice of vegetables. What you talking about here? So don't even get into all that. He still accepts you eating your vegetables, though. That's what you need to worry about. That he still accepts that you decided to eat what you think is good for you. He still accepts you. But when it comes to his law and his sacrifice, he's like, oh no. When Adam fell, the law of sacrifice came into play before Christ died, of sacrificing animals. Not with the blood, obviously. We don't need the blood. We don't need to eat the blood. Huh? You pour that thing out like the law told you. But he did not just accept some vegetables alone. Meat had to come with it. The corn and the grain had to come with it. And the sacrifice of the wine and the oil. See? But oil gonna make you fat. Actually, oil, when you eat fats, you burn fat. A lot of you guys have a problem with going to the bathroom. You don't eat enough oil. There's someone who had a gallbladder issue. I healed him with the gall granny flush. A lot of it was consisting of olive oil. See? So you got to, because you're buying that cheap stuff, that sunflower oil. That's not oil. It's the wrong oil for you. You're buying all of these oils. That's not, that the Bible, the seed oils is so unhealthy for you. That's where the cholesterol gets thrown off. That's where the leaky gut and all these things, let me tell you, the gut gets totally messed up and destroyed. All of these preservatives that they're putting in our food, really no different than antibiotics, a lot of them. So where you have to make sure that gut keeps getting those probiotics. Right? So let us continue. Who are you? I'm gonna say, instead of thou, I'm gonna say you. I gotta make it ring home like a bell. Because we know that thou means you. Who are you that judges another man's servant? I'm talking about the vegans right now. Because as we know today, meat eaters are not worrying about what vegans are doing. We can take a vote, a percentage. Meat eaters who eating that good old burger with that beef bacon and that turkey bacon never are worrying about what vegans are doing. They don't even care. So who are you, because you're eating meat, who thinks you're better, thinking that you can come and judge another man's servant who is a servant of the Lord? So you got checked today. Stay in your place. Because you acting like Cain. You bringing them vegetables over here. Bring the whole sacrifice, baby. God's diet over man's own righteousness. They don't judge you. Don't judge them back. Okay? You don't see them when you're like, yeah, man, I'm going on this juice fast. You trying to hint. You trying to hint so they can go on the juice fast. They like, I juice too. That you want them to only juice. I eat vegetables too. You want them to only do that. What's going on with you? You are really no different than the LGBT people. Why you can't do what you doing at your table with your family or with your fork and your spoon and your knife? Because you're hurting the animals. The vegetables are living too. I am a gardener. I'm a husbandman. The soil is living. When you cut them off, the root system, which is living, they die. I have a whole documentary on how plants are living and how they communicate. You're killing life too, by the way. Because when you eat life, hey, you have life. They take up the microorganisms and all the nutrients in the vegetables too. That's what gives you life. You're eating life. Now today, they have empty vegetables, empty fruit. So, hey, you eating vegetables, but a lot of that stuff is finna be getting hit with mRNA, and a lot of people who's eating them ain't growing it themselves to talk. And I'm not here to only bash the people who's eating vegetables today. That's not what I'm here. the lesson is just starting like that, so we can get that out of the way. Because we're going to have some scoffers or some silly people who comes on here still doing the same thing. And we're in the end time, so we really don't care about people's opinions when it comes to these things. You want to eat it and give God the glory. Stop hating on your brother. Because you fall into the spirit of Judas and Cain. That's all I'm saying there, okay? Because no meat eaters seem to be worrying about vegans. It's only vegans and vegetarians who seem to be worrying about people who eat meat. You got people who actually, they'll say they're not eating meat, and then you see them eating some crawfish or some fish, the pescatarians, and they think that's not meat. It's totally idiotic. Total confusion. Or they go roll up a blunt, or they drink, or they drinking, or they eating flavored packs instead of making their own broths. Because you can't make no good broth just out of them vegetables. You need that chicken bones, baby. You need them beef bones, baby. You need them fish bones to make a good broth because all the nutrients is coming out of there. See? Jacob, how you going to come from Jacob and tell Jacob he wrong when Jacob was making stew of lentils with red meat in there? You're better than Jacob now, right? You're better than Christ. When you say these stupid things, that means you think you're better than your own Savior who's coming back to save you. And I'm going to make you feel bad about it because it's total stupidity. Christ was eating fish, honeycomb, meat, wheat. All right. Yes, J Negron, it's okay. You late. Let's get on it. We on it. You just have to go back and watch it. We getting to it. We just starting, baby. We warming up the fire. The fire just got lit. Okay. Who art thou that judgest another man's servant to his own master? He standeth or falleth. Yeah, he shall be holding up, for God is able to make him stand. And obviously, this is on both sides. Meat eaters shouldn't be worrying about people who eat vegetables, and people who only eat vegetables shouldn't worry about people who eat meat. Okay? He that regarded the day, regarded it unto the Most High. So he that wakes up in the morning and give thanks to the Most High, he give thanks to the Most High for whatever he decides to do. Most High gave us free will. You can be able to live with only eating vegetables. And if you learn how to master the amino acids and the proteins, good for you. Okay? It's not going to be as easy as you think. And he that regardeth not the day to the Lord, he doeth not regard it. He that eateth to the Lord, for he giveth thanks, God thanks. And he that eateth not to the Lord, eateth not and giveth God thanks. For none of us liveth unto himself, and no man died to himself. So it's showing that we're all have a time with the Most High, regardless if we want to eat meat or vegetables, to actually come and go. The Most High has a clock on all of us. It's your choice what you want to do. Now, it's our job to make sure we can prolong it to that clock as much as possible. Okay? Let's jump down to verse 10. But why dost thou judge thy brother, or why dost thou set at naught thy brother? For we shall all stand before the judgment seat of Christ. Why do the vegans always look down on the people who eat what the Most High said that they can actually eat? Why are you setting at naught to your brother? If you setting your brother at naught, you setting Christ at naught, because Christ was eating the same thing they did. They drinking wine. Because you got Islam, they tell you, well, we don't drink wine, but you smoke cigarettes, fool. Cigarettes are totally bad. Wine has probiotics, especially the ancient wines. Huh? Well, wine it's clarified with pork. Not all wine. I can show you how cigarettes have pork in them. So when we showed that to people over there in Africa, then they was like, yeah, they didn't have anything to say. So we're going to leave that there. We got some good videos too. Let me tell you something right now. Let me tell you one thing I learned when I was a young kid. Master everything you do. That don't mean you can't learn and get better, but master everything you do. And don't talk too much. Let them think you don't know nothing. So give them an element of surprise. Because you got the people walking around talking all this crap like Deontay Wilder. To this day, you still getting your butt knocked out, brother. You got people like, what's this little guy who just got knocked out? Adrian Broner, all that talk. See, the Most High is humbling all Judah right now because they thinking they're too hard. They're thinking that they win. Let me tell you, strength comes from heaven, my brothers. On a side note, strength comes from heaven. The Most High gives us strength. He gave Samson that strength that Samson had. When all the judges were there was a spirit of the Most High on them for them to have that strength. It wasn't just them, because they were from a tribe. Judah, in the Testament of Judah, was given the spirit of might. We have angels of the presence, guys. And when we get back into our spiritual bodies, because we all come from the heavens, we all were spirits first. See? Our angels of the presence still going to be there. And so that spirit, whatever spirit we're supposed to have as tribes, when you read in the book of Jasher, will be back with us enhanced. See? Yeah. Look at Janaea Smith. How is there pork and cigarettes? Better go do your research, baby. Beyond any shadow of a doubt, I want you to go and do that research, because if you're still smoking, you shouldn't be. It's a toxin. Okay? Total cancerous. I'm not going to stop my lesson for that, but go do your research. You're going to find it for sure in there. So, Genesis 9:3, really quick. Genesis 9:3. Yes, indeed. I'm just here to teach tonight, guys. It may come out real, but Israel seeketh the sign. You want to, if you know, in a Christian church, that you tell them something soft, they don't listen. Tell them the real. Hit their soul. The Bible is a double-edged sword, and it cuts you asunder. So only those that have ears is going to hear. And guess what? You might want to focus on the lesson, because you're going to miss out talking too much in the chat. Okay? You might want to focus on this lesson. You're going to miss out on something, and something that you could have been doing to get yourself better and healthy. And because you talking in the chat too much, you're going to miss out. And remember, no teaching in my chat. I'm the only teacher here. Okay? I'm the anointed teacher tonight. There's no Facebook teachers that comes in my chat, or guess what? They get up out of here. From Elder Rawchaa and Elder Dale. That's how this thing go. We in the end times. It's enough for the games. If you're trying to get your little girlfriend and try to show off how much scriptures you know, this is the wrong place to do that, buddy. It's just the wrong place. All right? Genesis 9. So, and God blessed Noah and his sons. So this is after they come off the ark. And said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, and upon every fowl. Fowls are birds for those of you who may be new, guys, okay? Upon all that moveth upon the earth. I'm going to say it again. Upon all that moveth. Animals are walking and moving. Plants are not moving unless the wind is blowing. They are alive, but right now we're talking about animals, and I'm going to show you why I'm talking about that. For people who take the herb scripture and say, he said he gave us herbs for meat, and you didn't read Genesis chapter 9, baby. Okay? You didn't read Leviticus. You didn't read all the scriptures in Leviticus and Exodus and Deuteronomy about the sacrifices. You only read herbs for meat, and that's it. Just like the name of the Most High. You don't know how to actually study the Bible. When it says, I am that I am, that's his name, my name forever. So we're going to teach you how to make precept upon precept, line upon line. God's diet over man's diet, or man's philosophy and his science, falsely so-called. Man has failed in everything when he stepped outside of the Creator. Thank you for your blessings, Miss Walters. Okay, so, alrighty. Let's jump down. Okay, let's jump down to the middle of verse 2. And upon every fowl of the air, and upon all that moveth upon the earth, and upon all the fishes of the sea, into your hand are they delivered. So the Most High gave once again to one of the righteous leaders, which was Noah at this time and not Adam. He gave, because he destroyed the earth, and he gave life to the household of Noah. Now Noah raised his sons, but he can't control what his sons are going to do after they get out of his house. Whatever son is going to be righteous, it's whatever son is going to get the blessing. Whatever son the Most High says is going to get the blessing, that's because that son is righteous, and that's who the Most High chose. Okay? Verse 3. Every moving thing. Let's go back to verse 1. What moving things was he talking about? Actually, verse 2. Let's read in verse 2 again. It says, and upon every fowl of the air, and upon all that moveth upon the earth. What moves on the earth? Cows, sheep, cattle. But Noah also had the law. So he's going according to the law of what we can actually eat after the time of Adam. The law was in the beginning. If you were studying in our Hebrew and Bible Academy, the law was given in the beginning. So don't think that it was only given during Moses. You got to take the historytimes.org to figure that out. We're not going to talk about that tonight. So let's go back to verse 3. So now we know we're talking about animals. For the vegans who claim to say, herbs for meat. No. He's telling you right here, he gave you animals for meat too. In Genesis, in the beginning, yes. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you. I'm going to read it again. I gave you herbs for meat. Yeah, he did. He gave us herbs to go with them vegetables as a side. Okay? Man, all vegetables got proteins. You don't understand how the Most High created life. Because the animals and the gorillas, they be eating bananas and fruit, and they big, and the cows. Listen, he made animals in a specific way for us. He made the cow to eat the grass and still be big to have meat for you, to give you fertilizer so that the earth can be totally balanced. You wouldn't have to have trash cans all over the place. The Most High is perfect. And then guess what? They will poop out grass. Guess what? That went through different stomachs as a processing center for you to actually be able to fertilize your plants. And you have, good life in the soil that the worms will now come and eat. And then they will poop out. And eventually that will feed the soil, which the roots would take up the nutrients from that and the water. What are you talking about here? You don't get big when you just eating some vegetables. Have you ever seen bodybuilders who only eat vegetables and bodybuilders who eat protein? Are you kidding me? That doesn't mean that people are bad for doing that, but you can't compare the two. The 3D looking muscle on people who does that. That doesn't mean they don't look good, but you can't compare the two of the proteins. That's what I'm saying. You will not be the size of a gorilla. You can eat 1,000 bananas. You will never be the size of a gorilla. They are made to do what they're doing, guys. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with people in this stupid doctrine. The animals are made a certain way. You got a hippopotamus, you got rhinoceroses eating grass, and they're huge. You never turn to the size of a rhinoceros from eating herbs, brother. Come on with this foolishness, people. Let me tell you again. Verse 3. Every moving thing that liveth, we're talking about animals right now, shall be meat for you. Even as the green herb have I given you all things. Is he saying that every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you? Is he talking about every green herb right now? We just showed you what was moving on the earth. In verse 2, upon every fowl of the air that flieth, upon all that moveth upon the earth. That's talking about animals. He just gave you the herbs as flavor, to flavor the meat. If you just ate raw meat, not raw meat, meat with no seasoning, no spices, what black people do that? That's why he says, don't offer any sacrifices without salt. He didn't need to mention you could throw them spices on there. He don't have to mention it. That's common sense. See? Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you. So we didn't kill that herbs for meat thing. That's for meat and this. Even as the green herb. So also as the green herb have I given you all things. But the flesh with the life thereof. So when you're eating that meat, that same meat that's moveth, you can't eat the blood with it because the blood and the water together, that's the life, guys. But the flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, you should not eat. So a lot of you who have a lot of Esau buddies, you've been in the military, and they've told you, oh, you don't have a steak if it's not medium rare or rare. You are listening to the God of the shashoos. If that thing is still leaking out blood and you thinking there's grease, I'm going to tell you right now, you ain't Jake. You might be a black Edomite. Because our God told us, make sure that thing have no blood in there or he's going to be angry with you. I don't care what Esau's standards are. Esau done made the standard of lobsters and make you think you on top because you eating a lobster, which is nothing but a sea crawfish, a sea arthropod. I'm not going to listen to Esau, who went to go and marry of the Canaanite gods, those daughters, when my God gave me the law, me the commandments, and now we are in captivity under our brother Esau, and he's giving us his standards. Don't forget, the Bible says, lest thou be like Esau, the fornicator, who sold his birthright for a morsel of meat. Proving to you there was meat inside of the vessel that Jacob was cooking with, and there was blood in it. Jacob said that the food is not done yet. Esau did not care what God said. He said, even though I'm about to die, I will drink that blood in that soup. You can't get around God's law. This is a duel you can't win. Okay? So, but the flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, you should not eat. And surely your blood of your lives will I require. So if you eat that blood, you're gonna change something in your DNA about yourself. You're going to be a little wild and weird. Like how Esau on Instagram is eating the blood and just eating the raw meat and acting as if they're some type of lions or beasts. Yeah, we are the Lion of Judah spiritually. That's the spirit we have that God gave us. When it's talking about lions, like they're fierce like lions, character. But we are not physical animals, people. We are not beasts. We're not dogs. And surely the blood of your lives will I require at the hand of every beast. Will I require it? And at the hand of man. And at the hand of every man's brother will I require the life of man. So the Most High did not want us to deal with the blood. But he did say we can eat the flesh. So, Exodus 12:8, to show you, to bring forth a little bit more clarity for you guys on this, who still probably say, no, elder, that thing say, every moving thing that liveth be meat for you, even as the green herb. See, it's saying, even as the green herb. You don't understand what you're talking about. So guess what? To help you out, my brother or my sister, let me give you a precept upon precept. Exodus 12:8. We're going to go to Exodus 12 and 8 to help you. To show you he gave it to us to eat together. Thank you. Yes, indeed. We're going to show you that they were meant to go together, guys. So you get a lot of people with a lot of zeal, and I know they mean well, but we're not going to let them taint the young brothers and sisters who want to do right, who want to grow. Don't let these people who have their own motives, who have their own way they want to do and follow, taint you from what God said that you can do, guys. Well, you can enjoy yourself. Ain't nothing wrong with a little barbecue. God said you can eat it. They sitting over there in the corner like, see, they eating that meat. That's what's going on with you. It's that meat. When God himself said it's good. Do you believe in God or not? Are you better than Christ? Christ came back in the spirit I taught in lessons before, eating fish. That is meat. That's something that had to die. So, alrighty, we are at Exodus 12 and 8. And they shall eat the flesh. This is in the law. They shall eat the flesh in that night, roast with fire. Why are they roasting it with fire and not eating it like Esau and the Canaanites? So that they can dehydrate the blood out of the meat to keep the law. A covenant by sacrifice that we used to keep before Christ became the only sacrifice. But that didn't stop us from eating meat even when Christ became the only sacrifice. We still were eating meat, it's just not the actual sacrifice. Guess what? I eat juice and watermelon every day too. I eat it with my meat. I eat it too. So, I haven't seen nobody run faster or do anything different from only eating vegetables. I'm sorry to tell you. We're going to prove to you, let me tell you, the people who still are in doubt, we're going to prove to you tonight. They thought let me tell you, now they feeling bad because they wanted to be deep. Their whole goal was to be deep and get some type of attention and to be seen as some type of teacher. You're not. Sorry. You're very shallow if you're not teaching the Most High Scriptures. If nobody told you, I'm telling you today. It's okay. You can learn again and you can become a proper teacher. It's all good. I'm going to show you right now, verse 8, from what we just read in Genesis 9, that when he's talking about even the herbs so they can be eaten with the meat, just like the Passover. Verse 8, and they shall eat the flesh in that night, roast with fire, and the unleavened bread. We can't be eating wheat, man. Esau tainted the wheat. So go and get the proper wheat. Go and work a little hard, earn a little extra money, and go and buy the proper wheat. Actually, you don't have to earn a little extra money. It's actually cheaper than the bread in the stores when you buy it in bulk. All you have to do is go to azurestandards.com or any other site. I just gave you a little tip there. All right. And they shall eat the flesh in that night, roast with fire and unleavened bread. And with bitter herbs shall they eat. Huh? Who out there is eating since he said herbs for meat, only a bowl of ginger? If he made herbs for meat, are you eating a bowl of ginger? Or are you eating a bowl of horseradish with some salad dressing on it? Huh? Because olive ain't an herb. An olive is not an herb. You got the olive oil from that. See? So if you're going to say eat herbs for meat, only eat herbs. That's not talking about vegetables. Since you want to have those type of standards. See, when he said herbs, he was talking about all of the things that we can eat according to vegetables and herbs. He didn't even need to say vegetables. He knew that, hey, you guys are going to have some common sense out there. Okay. So we just showed that part. Okay. Let's go to Deuteronomy 14. We're going to show y'all some videos tonight. I mean, I really don't even, the crazy part, I really don't even need to, let me tell you, go into all of this, I tell you. But to those who have ears, let them hear. 1 second. Deuteronomy 14. Well, I just gotta prove it again. God's diet. Deuteronomy 14, and we'll go to verse 4. The things that are moving on the earth, because I guess people don't know what's moving now. Verse 2 says, "For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God, and the Lord had chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself above all the nations upon the earth." Verse 4 says, "These are the beasts which ye shall eat." It's not talking about herbs right here. It's talking about beasts. Okay? What Bible are you guys reading that said just herbs for meat? This is beast right here. So you're telling me you only read Genesis and the book of Deuteronomy is not in the Bible then if you said that. That means the gospel don't mean nothing because Christ was eating meat and bread in there. And guess what? I'm sure he was eating everything else in the law too. So, anyway, these are the beasts which ye shall eat. The ox, which is considered, and all the classes considered, bulls, oxen, the sheep, and the goat. The hart and the roebuck, talking about deer, elk. See, all the things that are considered antelope in the deer family, and the fallow deer, and the wild goat. And the pygarg, and the wild ox, and the chamois. So the wild ox is going to be the wild bulls of Africa. You have local livestock, and you have wild bulls that would not be tamed. You can eat those if you're hunting, because sometimes we want to go hunt for sport to eat things that you have to catch. Israel didn't always have to go hunt. Hunting for Israel is just like a little sport where you want to go have a little fun, go get you a little bull or whatever. Yes, Esau does it. It's just a sport. But there's livestock that you keep, like canned goods in your kitchen, that you stock. It's stocked on your land where your grass is. The goats are going to eat the weeds. The sheep is going to eat a certain level of the grass. So is the horses, so is the cows. The Most High made it perfect. He made it perfect, guys. He gave you something to cut that grass, keep that grass low, to keep the earth low, keep the grass low with all the cattle on the earth, guys. Is he not perfect? And when they drop, right, the dung, it goes back into the earth and fertilizes the earth to bring forth new grass. The nitrogen comes out. You have nitrogen and carbon. Guess what? And guess what? That makes heat. That's pure compost, which brings forth new life and grass that the worms eat, the arthropods eat. Yes, indeed. Yep. So we're going to talk about it. Somebody had a question here. I'm just going to show them really quick. There's your pygarg, for those of you who are asking. Just another type of goat or deer family, okay? There you go. So, just to show you that. Don't worry, we got you. Wanted to bring that out. I want to go to the little key scriptures really quick before I go into all of these videos. I don't want to go into the doctrine of, to fish, because the Bible already, if you don't know that, the truth ain't for you. I'm sorry. If you don't know you shouldn't eat fish, it ain't for you if you don't know that. I'm sorry. Let's go to 1 Timothy's. 1 second. Let me see. 1 second. Let me see what scripture that is. I want to make sure it's written right. Or was it a typo? Oh. Let me go to 1 Timothy 4. One second, guys. Listen, y'all about to learn something tonight. You already been learning something. Let me see if I'm in the right place. Is this where I wanted to go? One second. Let me make sure this is where I wanted to go. No, that's not with it. That's not. I got it. One second, guys. Bear with me. Yeah, but that is it. Let me go to the King James Version. Are we going to get it? Here we go. Yep. Let me see, can we get the whole chapter here? Y'all bear with me. I want to make sure I get it in a good book without these ads. All right, we in the game now. Let's get it. 1 Timothy 4:1 says, now the Spirit expressly, that the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter times, we are in the latter times right now, where you have a bunch of know-it-alls who want to seem deep. No, you're not blowing the horn from the Pygarg horn. There's many horns. There's many horns that's like that. It's not only that. You have ram's horns too, okay? Now, and if you're blowing from that, it's all lawful. Now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith. Some people shall get offended because they want to be right. When they're really wrong and they have too much pride. Pride comes before the fall. So they have pride, and if they keep their pride, eventually they're going to fall away. The Bible says pride comes before the fall. Just like this generation here. There's LGBT pride, and it's here right before the fall of Babylon. So even on a lower level, you have people who has pride before they fall just because somebody corrects them. So they end up getting pride. So tonight, it's just edification. It's not necessarily attacking anyone, but it's going to come out how it's going to come out. But I have to say that it's not attacking anyone. If a person knows that they're doing something wrong, regardless of how it comes out, guess what? You still should listen to it because the Bible says suffering wrongfully is good, but you're not suffering wrongfully. This is helping you not to suffer wrongfully in Esau's world so you can make it into the kingdom. Okay? No. Now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits. Seducing spirits like, no offense, Yaki Wakens. The gentleman who only drinks juice. Okay, I don't know his name. Many other people. What's the other black doctor they just came out with who only eats vegetables? Bobby Price. Great guy. But all of these guys are Masons. A lot of them. There's another doctor with Tahuti Matanra. You already know. Tahuti. That's an Egyptian type name. These guys are going to give you some good information, but then they're going to give you the tree of good and evil. They're all worshiping different gods. So you're a Hebrew over here, and when the Bible told you already what to eat, they bring you in with a little good information, and they start saying, yeah, I need you to stop eating meat. Only eat these herbs. We smoking a little weed on the side. And guess what else? We on the floor eating grass too. We worshiping Yah. We worshiping the universe. We worshiping, the Anunnaki. Yeah, on the camera, they probably eating steak at home, just getting paid to deceive our people. These YouTubers, you ever seen every new doctor coming out every now and then? Huh? Yeah, did you see what's the other guy's name who's in Philly? No offense to the brother, but let me tell you right now, I've seen him with some white girls too. So, hey, a lot of you guys need to follow what the Bible says, and just follow what it already says. Okay? So let's finish here. Giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. So these guys are following doctrines of other gods or devils or fallen angels. Okay? And the fallen angels is deceiving you because they eat meat. They eating human meat. They eat blood. So you're following the doctrines of these guys who's vegans, but the fallen angels who they follow, they eat meat. So you all confused. You just getting used and abused. I hear you are nothing but a harlot or a whoremonger getting caught between all of these religions and these gods. Thinking you're deep. You are far. Let me tell you, you are so shallow. You are so shallow. You so shallow, you right between the edge of water and sand. On the beach. You're not even in the shallow parts. You're on the edge between the water and the sand. That's how shallow you are. Simple. See, we already read it earlier. Trying to be deeper than others. You are in the spirit of Cain. The Most High didn't accept them vegetables. What are you talking about? If they were so good, he would have accepted them vegetables. Okay? He said, I need the whole sacrifice. The meat and the vegetables. And when you bring me vegetables, don't bring me the inferior, all right, vegetables. Bring me the superior vegetables. See? Speaking lies, verse 2, and hypocrisy. Having their conscience seared with a hot iron. You can tell them whatever you're going to tell them, but they still don't listen. Forbidding to marry. Like the nuns, Catholic nuns, even though they're having a freak party at night. Huh? Yeah. And sometimes, guess what? Sometimes the Essenes even took it too deep. Even though they had the Dead Sea Scrolls, some of them even took it too deep, forgetting that Christ still had to come. You see what I'm saying? And actually still do his part. Trying to be too deep, too righteous. Praise the Most High for them that they did what they need to do. But some men, not the whole sect, but some men, in ancient times, even today, you're always going to have a few of them who get too deep with things. Forbidding to marry. That's why Paul, when he said, I'd rather you be as me and don't marry, but he still told you it's not law. He told you when it's not law, though. Forbidding to marry and commanding to abstain from meats, which God had created to be received with thanksgiving of them which believe and know the truth. See? Christ didn't come to be exactly like the Essenes. He's Christ. He's like, listen, I got to go among my people and wake them up. We have to go street preach. We can't be over righteous, staring at a corner, being monks all day long. Just because we trying to be holy. If you just staring in the corner all day, and guess what? It's good what you're doing. I'm deciding not to have a wife. Right? Because the Essenes, they would just adopt little boys. Right? They would adopt little servants or whatever to go do their work and all of this stuff, just to pass the stuff down to them because they wasn't creating kids. But Christ is like, yeah, I'm glad you guys held it down, but I'm going to be with the people to wake the people up. A physician is for those who are sick. You guys ain't sick. You stand at the corner, you fast and you praying, doing what you need to do. You decide not to marry or eat meats. That's on you. But my job is to come and wake these children of Israel up. So all things are lawful, but all things are not necessary or expedient, and some things can be taken to be overboard. That's why Christ, a lot of people don't understand Christ and focus too much on the law. You're righteous, but if you never go out into the public to wake the people up, what's the point of the gospel? What's the point of the doctrine, the good news going out to the lost people, the lost sheep? He told the disciples to go out. Don't just stay up in the mountain. Don't just stay in the mountain all day praying. No one ever see you and you just die and get into the kingdom of heaven. You don't be fruitful to multiply anything. It's time to be fruitful and to multiply. Bring forth fruits meet for repentance. Huh? Go out and get some fruits that's meet to repent to the Most High. So they can also go and be do the same thing. That's what God told us to do, to bring our people back. So we don't need anybody coming just trying to be deep eating some vegetables somewhere. Right? Or saying don't eat red meat. That's the worst meat you can ever eat. Who told you that? Who told you that? Who told you that? Because I'm going to prove it to you tonight that you are totally wrong in that garbage. You're totally wrong. And I'm saying, yes, it's total garbage. I'm saying it just like that for a reason. Because I've seen people, and no personal people, who have gotten sick doing it. And I know people who didn't get sick doing it. So what I'm saying is all things are not profitable for all men. If they decide to do it and it's working for them, let it work for them. But if it's not, don't tell somebody what to do. Just present the scriptures and let a person choose. Okay? So, commanding, not only telling people that, oh, they shouldn't be eating meat, they're commanding them. When the Bible never said that, which God had created to be received with thanksgiving of them which believe and know the truth. These are the people who believe and know the truth, not them, obviously. Because they didn't read Genesis 9. They didn't read Exodus 12. They didn't read Deuteronomy 14 and 4. What book are they reading? How did they come up with this in their mind? I don't need people to jump on some bandwagon to only just start eating meat. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to teach the doctrine of Christ. I come in the volume of the book Christ said. He didn't come in the volume of some Negro's mind of what they think is best for everybody. All right? Yeah. Let me see here what I want to go into here. We're almost done with some of these things here. I'm going to go into the videos a little later. I want to get through the scriptures really quick. Okay, you got John 2:1 where the loaves of bread and the fish. Okay, proving that. But I don't need to go into all of these things here. First Kings. I'm just going to give examples because I can't go through all of the scriptures. You guys can go through them alone. I'll show you if you want to write them down. Sacrifices to the Most High Himself dealing with meat. 1 Kings 18:38 talks about, okay, when the sacrifice of the Lord was consumed and burnt up. Okay. And obviously it was protein. It was meat. The grain offering. All right. You have the grain offerings. Numbers 29:6. Okay. So that's why tonight we're talking about the things the Most High said that we should eat in a diet to stay healthy and not just to listen to anyone. So, the flour and the oil offering, Leviticus 2:1. Okay. And Leviticus 21:6. Okay. Salt. The covenant of salt. Right? All the fats that we eat with the meat, the olive oil. the dairy products that people say you shouldn't consume dairy because it causes mucus. Let me tell you something. You haven't been further from the truth. You have to understand all things that Esau have processed in it. They over processed them, have caused these things. We just learned, through Elder Rawchaa about the A2 cows. We're always going to continue to learn, guys. And there's some people who's not, having issues with the milk from the A1 cows, but there's some people who are. But it's preferably you just eat what the Bible says, because the Bible said not to necessarily mix the cattle. Now, we can't judge people on this because no one knows what type of cattle they're getting when they go into the store. So that's where grace comes in. Our job is to get to close to the Most High's truth and law as possible without judging the next person, according to the finances that we have and according to the life we live, schedules, whatever the case may be, and remembering that we are in captivity, trying to get as much right as possible. We won't get everything right. We're going to try our best to get as much right as possible, okay? Sheep and goats already have A2 milk. So they already have a classified A2 milk. But the cows, they don't. They mix a lot of cattle, so they don't necessarily have A2 milk. And if you can get your hands on raw milk, it's even better. But if you can't, it is what it is, guys. I'm not going to tell you to not drink milk. But what I'm telling you is, if you can transition yourself eventually, it will be a blessing. It will be a blessing. And you're going to think it's expensive. But when you go on a proper diet of actually balancing these things out accordingly, that's why they call it a balanced diet, you'll realize that, one, grinding your own flour from your own wheat grain, you get so full just eating a little piece of it. That's how powerful it is. Protein makes you very full. Eating that protein before you eat a bunch of carbs and sugars on that plate is going to keep you more lean, more in shape, without having to work out so much. Not that you shouldn't work out, but you will get there more faster. You notice how you go to most restaurants or you eat soul food, sweet potatoes. You got baked potatoes or potatoes. You got dirty rice. You might got rice. You got corn. All the carbs is what makes a person thick. I have a saying where I said protein makes you lean, carbs make you large, because it's a fact. Now, if you eat protein with a lot of fat, you probably say, well, don't that make you fat? No. Actually, your body starts to put fat off because you're feeding it fat. When you don't eat fat, especially a woman who's breastfeeding, that's when your body will hold fat, knowing it needs fat to produce breast milk. I know what I'm talking about. Okay? So protein makes you lean, carbs make you large. And this is bodybuilding things that they know. Dropping salt will shrink you, which is your electrolytes. Okay? Dropping your carbs will shrink you, and your water if you need to cut. You see what I'm saying? These are all the things that God actually wants us to eat. A lot of people overseas, when they fight, they will make them fight at their own weight already, instead of doing like the Americans, trying to drop people and dehydrate them to go and fight. This is a fact. Okay, I don't know why people do that over here, but I really don't understand it. But God said to eat salt. He said to eat the fats. They burn fat. But you got to eat the healthy fats. Okay, so we're going to go into all that today. All right. Let me see what else I have here. Because there's no way I can just go into all of these things. But I'm going to give you a tip on salt. Salt was to be present with every offering. Salt has remarkable preserving qualities. It also endures high heat, having a melting temperature of 800 degrees Celsius or 1,470 Fahrenheit. Now, check it out. You notice how they have tried to mess up everything that God told us we can eat. They have over-processed the milk or the yogurt. They add these little things in the yogurts. And can you get some good yogurt? You can get some good stuff out there still that's still pasteurized. Is it going to give you the same effects of life that raw products will? Of course not. But you won't die, and it gives you time to transition until you can get there, right? They've messed up the fats. When you get certain cheeses, they give you the American cheese. It sticks to your teeth. It gives you cavities. Just get you some good old sharp or mild cheddar. Butter. You shouldn't be eating butter. No, you shouldn't be eating margarine. Margarine, I want you guys to just look up the harmful effects of eating margarine. And guess what? Yes, you can just get the good old butter that just says cream and salt at the store. You can get the butter with salt or not. Is there better butter than that? Of course. But this is still good butter that still has health benefits. I'm telling you. You can go to the store and whatever your local store is, you get some butter that says cream and salt. The effects of it being pasteurized is not really something that's really going to harm you, especially if you're eating overall balanced diet, because everyone's just not going to get everything perfect. Okay? There's a way you can make your own butter and actually add back probiotics in it. So I'm telling you the levels of these things. Some people needs to get the basic levels first. I can't make everyone just get to the top level right away. Even when it comes to baking bread, some people may say, hey, I can just go to the store and get the unbleached flour that's whole grain, organic, and bake with that first. I probably can't grind my wheat right now. You can, but it's a place to start. But you're going to notice if you eat the raw stuff or the stuff in its rawest form and you process it minimally, guess what? It's the level you thought you were on a level even better than going to the store doing certain things, but you're going to continue to grow and grow and grow. So that's what I'm trying to teach you guys, to transition you, okay? 1 second. Deer, goats, sheep, cattle, meat, poultry, fish, milk, butter, cheeses, all referenced in the Bible. Wine, figs, okay? Honey. You have some people out there on a certain diet who tells you don't eat honey, when the scriptures show many men in the Bible actually eating honey. I want to put this out there too, that you got people hitting me up on Messenger talking about they hungry, can I give them some money? Lord have mercy, I'm the wrong person for that. You got Israelites who act like the Israelites, just going around taking money from people. So sad. The devil himself. Anyway, Lord have mercy. I pray for you, because you know when you go around dealing with people like this, let me tell you, they would squeeze you dry. Okay. I don't need you telling people what's better on here, Malak. You know I love you, brother, but I'm teaching tonight. I love you, but I'm teaching tonight. There's only one teacher, and you know I love you. But even if I love you, you still got to follow the rules. Because if you give a good tip, there may be one day you give the wrong tip. And that's what I'm more so worrying about. I'm not really worrying about your good tips. I'm worrying about that day you may give the wrong tip, because that's something that you do. So the teaching have to come from the elders, the anointed elders. And you can't anoint yourself to become that. So I'm not getting on you, but we have to be careful. That's all I'm saying, all right? Because I know you mean well, and I know you're a good brother. It's all good. I want to put this out there. Sugar is good. The problem with sugar is when it's over-processed. The problem with most things is when it's over-processed. It's not when it's processed. Vegetables are processed when you cook them. Meat is processed when you cook it. Dehydration is a process. The problem is not process. The problem is over-processing. I want you guys to understand that. There's most things on earth must be processed. But over-processing them in the wrong way is the issue. I'm going to prove to you these people who talk about sugar, man, sugar causes fungus, sugar causes this. And guess what? They're right to a certain degree. But it's the over-processing of sugar. That's what it is. You can't tell somebody don't eat sugar, because you're totally wrong. Bread is sugar. Pasta is sugar. It's sugar. It converts into sugar. The Most High wants us to eat sugar because it helps with our hormone balance. It helps with our mood, people. When you don't have sugar as a bodybuilder, when they're working out on only protein with no sugars, their mood is very bad. Sugar makes a person happy. So you have people saying, I only eat this sugar. Eat what sugar you want. But if you're working out and doing what you're supposed to do, your body's going to burn it off. That's all I'm saying there. That's all I'm saying. There's I eat agave syrup. Well, guess what? I have agave syrup in my house too. But if you overeat agave syrup, it's going to be bad too for you. Okay? So that's all I'm saying there. You have dates. I have dates, sir. I have all the sugars you need in your house. Coconut sugar, brown sugar. But I'm going to tell you guys, overdoing anything is bad. Over drinking water will drown your system out. And you can flush out too many minerals. That's why the Most High said summer fruit, because in the summertime, only drinking water a lot of times, depending on the climate you're in, may not be enough. You're going to need a little bit more sugar from the fruit. A lot of you guys out there talking about juice, you're juicing sugar. But Elder, it's not overprocessed. No, keep it in the form of sugar. It's sugar. That's all I'm saying. Okay? There's different types of sugar. Glucose, fructose, I know. I get it. What I'm trying, and I'm not trying to get everything perfect here for everybody. I'm trying to tell people God's diet, and for people to stop telling people what they shouldn't be doing. You do what you do in your household with your relationship, with your diet. That's for you and your God and your family. That's what I'm talking about. If you have some friends who you want to share things with, cool. But once you turn to a doctrine is when it comes wrong. I think we need to start keeping our diets a little bit more private if it's going to cause offenses. Is what the Bible is saying here. Okay? So, there's tolerations in wine. Some people's toleration, got some big old dudes who can drink a certain amount of wine the same as you, and they don't do nothing for him because he's a big guy. And then you said, yeah, he put down this much. Well, the dude's 6'5" and you're 5'10". He probably can take a little bit more there. So, you know, I think, you know, people got to kind of mind their own business when it comes to that. I'm just putting out information. That's all I'm doing. And the people who's trying to tell people they shouldn't eat what God is talking about. That's what I'm doing tonight. I want to go really quick to Isaiah 43 and 24 to show people, stop talking about sugar, please. Okay? There's so many types of sugar. You can get it, obviously, if you get it the most minimal process at all that you can, it's going to be better for you. But even that, it's not like you just get some crazy benefits just because you eating some raw sugar. It's not like you're going to be a superhero just because you ate some raw sugar and this person ate some sugar. That's what I'm trying to say there. That's all I'm saying. We need to try to get our taste buds as much as possible from overly processed sugars. But let's be honest, in American captivity, there's some things that Israelites, that's just what they are now. And you can do some things yourself. Who's not going to have some ice cream and enjoy themselves in captivity? Who's not going to have a pizza or a burger and enjoy themselves? We got to be real here. I grind my own bread. But when I want a burger, I'm not going to be sitting here wondering why. Yes, and there's places that I go to with good burgers, though. With good bread. Sometimes they have gluten-free, this and that. But I'm not going to be sitting there stressing out about sweating drops. Oh, my goodness, I don't know what's going on with this burger. And guess what? There may be some ketchup that has high fructose corn syrup. I don't have a bottle of ketchup to bring with me today. I work out and I eat so much in something that's going to detox me. That little bit, it's just not going to harm me. I'd rather not eat it, but if it's a situation where I don't have my little seasonings I bring with me that day, guess what? I'm going to pray over that thing like Christ said, and I'm going to eat it. Because guess what? Even if I ate everything the best I could, perfect, I'm still going to have toxins in the air from the chemtrails, smart dust that comes out there. I'm going to get a toxin from the fumes, from the cars. It's still going to have to come out of me. So I'm not saying this to say that people should still eat an unhealthy diet. But I'm just saying that all things are profitable, are lawful, but all things are not expedient. That's all I'm saying there. It's a time for everything. If I travel somewhere else, I'm off well water in my house. But when I get in the shower, there's fluoride water. So what I did, I brung my little immune system stuff there. Or you can bring you a filter. But I didn't have a filter that day. So what did I have to do? I had to make sure every day that I was out there with you guys over the weekend, me and my brother was taking our immune system builders, okay? That's it. So whatever fluoride came in me is going to come out. You're not going to get the whole law perfect, guys. Don't try to. You will stress yourself, okay? There may be a time where even us who do eat meat, all we have to eat one day is a little vegetables. And you're going to have them vegans over there. See, yeah, I bet you like them vegetables now. See, it's not even about that. If this is all I have now, that's what I'm going to eat to get me to the next day, regardless of what it is, as long as it's lawful according to the Most High. Okay? But you'll have some vegans, hey, eating their babies. I thought you didn't eat meat. You got hungry today, though, didn't you? Huh? Like in 70 AD. See, you was going around fronting. Right? Isaiah 43 and 24. 1 second. All right. I wanted to show you guys that there's sugar in the Bible. For people telling people, we shouldn't be eating sugar. Well, sugar comes from sugar cane. You juice it, and you get a sweet, beautiful juice that we used to taste in Egypt every day. And those of you who are in the tropical places already know how the sugar cane does. I grow sugar cane. I've grown it before. I know what it does. You can dehydrate the molasses syrup, and you get sugar. And you can do one more process and get the sugar that we have in the stores. It's not going to kill you guys. That's what you eat when you eat your donuts and your ice cream. It's okay. It's the overprocessed white bleach sugar that's an issue. Okay? And guess what? I'm not going to be faulting people if that's all they can afford. If that's all they can afford, it is what it is. I'm not, that's all I'm saying. I'm just saying, listen, you want to eat everything in moderation and not be a glutton to it, because it can cause candida. It can. In all actuality, it can. If you overdo it. Sometimes you get your smoothie, you can try to put things like, that are very sweet, mango, dates. Personally, if you want to keep your body lean, you should choose those. But sometimes there's some things for taste, for Jake, they be like, nah, put that brown sugar in that thing, because that's going to bring the taste I like out. If we got like, for example, coffee cake. For some reason, you could put honey on coffee cake. It's not going to come out the same. It's going to taste good, but it's not going to taste like that brown sugar and cinnamon on that thing. Cinnamon rolls. Who's putting the honey on cinnamon rolls? No. I'm putting brown sugar, brother. Or I'm going to put some coconut sugar, something that's close to it. I'm not going to put no date syrup on it. Nah, that ain't no cinnamon roll. But that's for me. If another person says, I like this on mine, I'm not going to go to their house and say, you can't put that, you got to put brown sugar. That's not my place. But I'm saying for me, I will not eat a cinnamon roll with some date syrup, or some maple syrup. No, a cinnamon roll is cinnamon and brown sugar. Okay? So, I'm going to show you guys that it's okay. So, but I do love me some molasses, right? So, you can get that from your sugar cane, guys. Anyway, let's continue. Verse 23. Thou hast not brought me the small cattle of thy burnt offerings. See, the Most High was not like the vegans. They're killing the animals. Until we start getting crazy. Well, we like, man, I'm going to go sacrifice this animal, and then I'm going to go, damn, man, she bad, man. I'm just going to give the Most High a cow next, the next sacrifice. Can't do that. So Christ was like, because of these Negroes, we're not taking no more of them sacrifices. They are crazy. They keep sinning and thinking just because they give a sacrifice, they can just keep sinning. They don't get it. Neither hast thou honored me with thy sacrifices. I have not caused thee to serve with an offering, nor wearied thee with incense. Verse 24. Thou hast brought me no sweet cane with my money. What is sweet cane? It's sugar cane. Stop telling people the diet of God is wrong. There was sugar in the Bible. And people knew what to do to process the sugar. Okay? Now, maybe they overprocess it today, but you cannot tell a person that is unlawful. and that they shouldn't be doing it. Okay? Jeremiah 6:20. Let's go there really quick. All right. To what purpose cometh there to me incense from Sheba, and the sweet came from a far country? Your burnt offerings are not acceptable, nor your sacrifices sweet unto me. So, they were bringing these things to the Most High, guys. Sugar. I'm going to try to tell you right now, you can't win. Huh? You can't win. Obviously you don't eat over processed things, but you also can't tell people what they can't eat. There's sections where you can find good sugars. It's common sense that you can, well, not common sense, but you can get the syrup from the sugar cane. That's molasses. That's sugar. If a person wants to dehydrate it and have them some nice black sugar, cool. I'm just saying. And it's not some type of extra health benefits. It's just not going to go into your body as some type of empty carbs, is what I'm saying. When your body stores them as fat. Okay? But if you're working out, doing what you need to do, or burning it off, it's really doesn't really going to affect you at all. That's just the fact of the matter. You just don't want to overdo it because you can throw off your fungal activity, okay? Just wanted to show you guys that before I go into these videos in my notes there. So I'll put those to the side. I'm not going to go into all of these because I just want to go into the videos. I'm going to just give you a few scriptures. Sirach 37, no, hold up. Yeah, Sirach 37:28, gluttony. Just proving once again the flour, Sirach 38:11. Chickens, Matthew 23:39. All of these things are mentioned in the Bible. I want to talk about, let's go to Genesis 3:3 just really quick. Because we don't want to eat anything mind-altering, or it's going to change our DNA like these mRNA things. Because the fallen angels made the tree of good and evil. And I know that to be sure because the fallen angels is the one who showed them all of the technology when it came to plants and different things like this, okay? They taught them how you can graft a tree and do all of these different things, right? But they taught them in its wrong way. Okay? And I want to put out there for people that it's not necessarily GMO watermelon just because it doesn't have seeds. Should you choose one with seeds, of course, but a black farmer came out and showed that they breed them a certain way. Are there some watermelon GMO watermelons without seeds? Definitely. I'm just telling you, you need to understand the PLU codes. Number 3 and number 4 is not genetically modified. Number 9 is not genetically modified. Okay, that is organic. All right, I just want to show you guys that. For people who think just because a watermelon doesn't have seeds, that is GMO. That's just, I brought that on another lesson that's far from the truth. Okay, as a matter of fact, that same guy with all the white hair, do you know which watermelon he be juicing? He be juicing that seedless joint. So let me tell you, our people be something else, boy. But anyway, Genesis, Lord have mercy. I be cracking up, I tell you. Genesis 3:3 really quick. I compare this to the GMO. I compare this to gateway drugs. The scripture here. But the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God has said, you shall not eat of it, neither shall you touch it, lest ye die. Okay, and the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die, for God doeth know the day you eat of it, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. Now check it out. Today, they're still practicing the same thing by having people taking these pharmaceuticals, mixing all the genetically modified foods that can actually eventually alter your DNA. When it comes to this mRNA, they're trying to put it in the vegetables. They're trying to put it in the cattle and in the livestock. So they're coming out with little, psyops and false flags to manipulate God's diet. Weather warfare, climate change. So you can't grow the food that's in God's diet and God's law. Okay? So we don't want anything that's mind altering like weed. Tell you something. Weed always makes you feel like, hey, we talking about God, so it must be good. That's the part of the good part of it. It has some health benefits, but guess what? That's the good part of it. Then it goes to the evil where it makes you feel like you're deep. And guess what? That demon is sitting in you the whole time. Like, yeah, you're talking about God. You're thinking you deep. But then you become an addict. And the demon stays in you. Because all you're doing, you don't want to go to work no more. You're becoming overweight. You smell like boo-boo. You smell like sulfur. The smell of sulfur is a smell of hell. A skunk. There's a foul spirit in you. Even when people don't smoke, you ever smell that sulfur smell if you ever went to a house or anything, showing you there's a spirit around. We're not talking about a skunk. Okay? Foul spirit. When you smell like boo-boo and sulfur, something unclean, you have a demon on you. You might not be able to smell it, but when someone walks around and you in the truth and you ain't smoking that thing no more, you can tell when somebody's smoking from far away. Okay? Mind-altering drugs are no different than the tree of good and evil. They trick you with the few benefits that they may have. And then you're taken into that captivity after that. So don't ever let some fool tell you that weed is in the Bible. Yeah, it's in the Bible, the tree of good and evil. Cocaine. Mind-altering gateway drugs. Or they'll take something good from the Most High, turn it to another way to make it also mind-altering, giving you pills and all of these things. Okay? So, when you go to Enoch 8, take down that note, talks about the root cuttings, that they were dealing with the plants in the wrong way. You think they were dealing with anything in a good way? Of course not. They would show people good, and they would take them to the evil side as well. I wanted to go. Numbers 15 and 7 talks about the wine. Numbers 18 and 12, oil, wine, and wheat. We can go on and on. The diet of the Most High. Deuteronomy 7 talks about the corn and the wine. All the corn is not only just the corn that we eat on the cob. It's also talking about the wheat and the spelt, the kamut. It's all the different grains, guys, okay? The fats, Genesis 18 and 8. Why we can eat tallow. Tallow is like your lard for pork, but it's beef. Tallow has many benefits. Sometimes I just go to the butcher and ask them for the suet. The suet, you can buy it very cheaply, and you can render it at home in a slow cooker or a pot, and you can make your own beef lard, but they don't call it lard. They call it tallow. Let me tell you, skin, hair, body. And we're going to show you people who's living by these things. That's why I have to get through this lesson, because it's so much information on some of these videos. I'm not going to be able to go through all these scriptures, so I have to just give the notes tonight. Let me see here. The salt. You notice how Esau, when I even put salt sometime on their food, and they just put salt and black pepper, and it's like, no. That's not the children of the Most High. The Most High got to have that flavor and them seasonings and them herbs with that meat. I go to restaurants, it's like they make a beautiful meal. You dig in that thing, thing tastes like air. I'm like, I had to ask the other day, you guys got some garlic powder around here? Like, what's going on? There's no life in this food. It like Elijah said, it tastes like the people when they would lie, it tastes like death in the pot. When they was eating those wild gourds. Okay? Let me see if this is the one I wanted to get. 1 second. we are people of flavor. So the Most High said, hey, that sacrifice better not be lacking any salt. Oh, I love this scripture. Let's go to Judges 6:19. Judges 6:19 says, and Gideon went in, made ready a kid, and unleavened cakes, and ephah of flour. This is all in the scriptures all the time. Okay. The flesh, he put in a basket, and he put broth in a pot from the flesh, and brought it out unto him under an oak, and presented it. He's presenting this to an angel, guys. Once again, just like Abraham did. And the angel of God said unto him, take the flesh and the unleavened cakes. People say, you should be eating bread. Shut up. And lay them upon this rock, and pour out the broth. And he did so. Then the angel of the Lord put forth the end of the staff that was in his hand, and touched the flesh and the unleavened cakes, and rose up the fire out of the rock. You shouldn't be eating dead things. Well, the angel put that staff upon that rock and took that sacrifice, and consumed the flesh and the unleavened cakes. Then the angel of the Lord departed out of his sight. You can't make this stuff up, man, with these people and just making things up. I tell you. They had something about wine I wanted to get about something about how it make God happy. 1 second. I have to get it. I have to get it. Y'all give me 1 second. I have to get that. Because I know I wrote it down. One second, my people. Let me see if it's Numbers 15 and 7. Let me see if that's it. I don't think it is. Is it? I don't think that's it. No, that's not it. 1 second. I gotta find this one really quick. I want this one. I want this one for you guys. Gotta be in Judges. Judges 9 and 13, maybe? Let me see. Judges 9. Let me see if that's it. Is that it? There we go. See? Yep, buddy. Judges 9 and 13 says, because you have some people who talks about people when they drink wine, as if the Most High said that it can't be done. So we had to kill that. It's over drinking anything or overdoing anything. And the vine said unto them, should I leave my wine, which cheereth God and man? I'm going to read it again. Should I leave my wine, which cheereth God and man, and go to be promoted over the trees? Oh, I'm sorry. Just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. So let's go into our media really quick, because I can't go into all of these scriptures tonight. Eggs. Yes, I can. One more. Job 6 and 6. Job 6 and 6. Let's just go there really quick. One more. I tell you what, boy. Just let God be perfect. Let him be perfect. Let Ahia be perfect. Job 6 and 6 says, can that which is unsavory, which meaning they don't have no flavor, be eaten without salt? You have these bodybuilders telling you, man, we don't eat no salt so I can be lean. Well, I want to be lean if I can't have no salt, because guess what? I was eating a lot of salt and still lean. What are you talking about? Or maybe I just got some good godly genetics, but let me tell you right now, stop it. You got to get on that stage and strip for Esau for that bodybuilding. Esau be like, take it off. Let me see what you're working with. Show me what you're working with on that bodybuilding stage. Turn around. Let me see the muscles. We good over here. We're going to eat our salt. Okay? Yeah. We're going to listen to our God over Esau. Esau may not, let me tell you, when I was even overseas, so-called black people, that's why you can't describe us as black, because Egyptians are black too. They was talking about you putting too much flavor on your food and spices. We looked at them like, hold up, these people black as us. What is going on? Egyptians are not flavorful like us. Let me tell you, no offense, but they do not like as much spices on their food as us. The people over there who are cooking good is actually the people from Joseph. They taught the Egyptians and the Arabs how to cook over there. Trust me when I say that. Facts. I'm not making this up. When I heard that, and I said, they just as black as me, if not blacker. They don't like spices on their food. And I realized that our people in America have no clue of what they're talking about. They think everybody black is us. They're not. They're just black like us. But when it comes to who we are from the children of Israel and God. He made a covenant with us. And he told us about the salt. As a matter of fact, do I have the covenant of the salt? Do I have the covenant of the salt here? Because, boy, I'll get it. I'll get the covenant of the salt to let people know why it's so important. Salt it has your minerals in there. Let me get it for you guys. Where is it at? Let me get it real quick. I have to get that just to show you guys really quick. We're talking about the sacrifice. Leviticus 2:13. Let me show you that I'm not just talking something for myself. I always like to stay and prove man wrong with the scriptures of God. I was lean and mean with salt. So that's not true that you have to do. Yeah, you can drop and be looking like a crazy for Esau, but you can be very lean and still look good with eating salt. Trust me. I proved that thing totally wrong. If you just want to look like a dehydrated fruit, then you can do that. Just for some man to tell you want a bodybuilding contest. Let me tell you. It sounds like a puffy party if you. I'm not knocking the sport of bodybuilding, but I'm just saying, when a man tell you turn around, let me show you what you're working with and see your lats and everything else what you got on a bikini pretty much, I'm good on all that. It's good while it lasted, but I don't know if I'm down with all that. The sport in itself, cool. But when it comes to the diet of my God, cool. No, listen, we're going to stick with the diet of my God. No one needs to be that below body fat percentage anyway to be healthy. No diddy. Pause. Okay? You know I love bodybuilding, but I'm saying when it comes to the diet, Esau's always trying to find some extra way to do something, and I get it. Some of the things they say do work, but I'm just talking about right now overall health here, okay? And every oblation of thy meat offering shall thou season with salt. He didn't need to say the herbs, because you have to know as an Israelite, you already know what he means. If you only put salt with no herbs and spices, you already know that that's like an Esau meal. Modern day Esau have learned from Jake how to cook. And this is just the truth about it. They look different and everything. They got the hair dye and it's totally different. But back in the days, it was not going like that. There was no hair dye. They were just rolling. how they rolled, and we rolled how we rolled. And this is no knock. This is the truth. The truth shall set you free. There's nothing wrong with that. On the other side of the world, you understand, it's not saying they didn't eat any salt, but we like salt and flavor and seasonings and a little gravy too. Okay? You can't just give no biscuits with some salt. We're going to be like, yeah, where that grape jelly at? Where that strawberry jelly at? What's going on? What's popping off? Huh? Where that syrup at? Where that maple syrup at? Okay? And guys, for black people who don't know, Israelites who don't know, Aunt Mama's syrup is nothing but some sugar and water. It's all good, but I'm saying it ain't maple. It's not real maple syrup. It's artificial. You just put some vanilla in that thing, put the sugar on the stove with a little water, you make you some syrup. We used to do that in Egypt when we ran out of money, but it's not maple syrup. If you eat too much of that, it's going to stick to you. It's going to cause too much fat. Okay? Maple syrup is what I want on my pancakes, or give me that molasses or some honey. So, you really don't like fried chicken with bread. I don't know what that means. Maybe you're from a different part of town, but black people in the South, we like that fried chicken. East Coast, West Coast, North, I don't know. We just like it out here. Maybe you guys from somewhere else, but we love that fried chicken. I'm sorry. We can't let you come on here and say that. But hey, if you like it, as long as you like what you like, that's all that matters though. So, anyway, as for the obligation of first fruits, you shall offer them to the Lord, but they should not be burnt on the altar for a sweet savor. Okay? So the first fruits, did I skip that? I'm sorry, I jumped to something else. Let's stick on subject. Neither shall thou suffer the salt of the covenant of thy God to be lacking from thy meat offering. With all thine offerings, thou shalt offer salt. You see that? With all thine offerings, you better not bring me no offering. Sound like an old black man, don't it? You better not bring me no plate. And don't have no. Let me tell you, when my daughters, when I first taught them to cook, and they bring me some food with no flavor, I was like, what we doing here? What's going on here? I tell you what, they want to please their daddy, boy. They make sure they come back with that. Now, daddy like that garlic powder, that paprika. Let me tell you, he like, hey, maybe want a little hot sauce. Let me tell you, you got to make it right for the Most High. We made in his image. You mean to tell me you're going to bring me some some rice with no salt? Are you kidding me? Don't ever do that. You know, black people, you ain't put no salt in that rice. We are made in the image of our God. And then you'll be seeing Esau, not all of Esau either. I want to make that disclaimer. I'm not talking about all of Esau, but a lot of them. And a lot of Gentiles literally can eat meat raw with no flavor. I watch Africans over there, Canaanites right now in Africa, eating the ones with the sticks in their lips and the stuff in their ears and all that, the nose. They eat raw meat, no flavor. They would just take a monkey, put the fire, put it in the coals, and just start eating that thing. No seasoning. I know we're the children of Israel. Because if you bring some rice with no salt, it's on and popping. It better have the fat that the Most High said, talking about that butter in that thing, or some oil and some salt. Period. We are the children of Israel, guys. I'm going to tell you right now. And we might throw a little turmeric in that thing to make it yellow. See? A little black pepper, whatever. I'm just saying, we might have that thing right. Like a kite in the wind blowing to the east. You know what I'm talking about? We're going to have it right for you. So, we are made in the image of our God. So why would we be surprised? This is not an offense against anybody. The truth of Israelites sometimes may offend other nations, but it shouldn't. Because Esau, today, modern Edom, I'm seeing modern day Edom, they flavor their food just like us. And they know back in the day, they wasn't styling that hair. They forefathers was not styling their hair. They was rolling with the whisker joints that curl like this. And I seen somebody on the plane rolling with that. That's how they was rolling. This is just the reality of it. You can't get offended. You cool with us now because the kingdom is coming in. We all working it out in Christ. But the reality is, it's modern day Gentiles who's looking stylish. They getting the nails done and they mingling in with us because they didn't learn a lot from us. And guess where this came from? Our God. So our law, statutes, and commandments in Christ have also changed the Gentiles. The only thing is we have to bring it all the way over from the sin part. Because we're teaching the Gentiles some good things, teaching them how to season their food better, teaching them how to dress a little better. They got the petticoats. They working out. Let me tell you, Esau be in the gym working out, and sometimes they be now having a little bit more than the sisters. So I be trying to tell my sisters, you better get on your game, because Esau is in that thing studying you how to get the hair done, how to turn the chin, how to say, girl. They trying to do everything. You got the East Indians, I showed you, they trying to learn how to, they trying to learn it all. But we need to teach them the righteous things. We taught them a whole lot, but now it's time to teach them Christ. So we don't need to hate them, because guess what? Regardless if we're in captivity, it's kind of crazy. We have a love-hate relationship with the Gentiles. They want to keep us down, but they want to follow our style. So I'm like, hold up. They're benefiting from our style, benefiting from our ways, benefiting from our music. We need to go ahead and step into our positions as kings and queens, and we need to benefit from it. You want to do this like, hey, you want to do this like me? I'm copyrighting that dance. You done found out a Gentile and did your little dance? Oh yeah, hey, copyright infringement, trademark, whatever you want to call it. Hey, you see the Chinese over there, they can make anything out of plastic. They got mountains over there you think is real waterfalls with pipes in it. Chinese can make anything. So they dancing like us. Is there Israelites over there? Yes, there's Israelites over there. But not all of them are. A lot of people are great copycats. Where are you going with this, Elder? Step into your rightful place and position. Stop letting these people benefit off of the image of your God. Okay? Yeah, that's male and female, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Jake, the promised seed, the chosen. Everything that he told us to do in his rightful fashion, we're letting them tell us we should eat our meat medium rare. You doing that with them, they know that you have a law and a covenant with your God. So when you sin, they win. While studying your style and following you, they taking the money from your albums, taking your whole catalogs. They studying you, trying to be you, and guess what? They look at you and look down on you like you're nothing. When the Bible says that they were living in the mountains, living in the caves, living in places like this. And I'm not here to downgrade them, but I have to tell the truth. We still have to be honest. Thou that livest in the clefts of the rocks. See? Israel, you need to step back into your position. Your God told you to eat the right diet so you can be in shape, so you can be healthy. He told them they can eat the pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, whatever they want to deal with, because he wasn't worrying about them, because they weren't worrying about him, because they were worshiping other gods. See? We will accept the ones who want to worship Christ and our God with us. But the rest of them, stop letting them steal from you, steal your style. Trying to take your slang. When I come back from Egypt and Europe, I'm seeing Chinese saying, "What's up, dog? What's up, nigga?" I'm like, what's going on here? Step into our rightful position so we can teach them righteousness and understand why we do what we do. Because they come on our page telling us that we are, they talking about we got Tazadak. We learned from Tazadak, he was over, just making up stuff about us. It's time for us to step in our position and let them know, like we did at the Royal Gala, that's not who we are. And everything you got, they need to know everything you got and everything you're doing is because of us. When it says that thy seed shall make the rest of the world great. All the nations shall be blessed from us. Obviously, that's Christ overall, but still, from everything we do, we make our own language. We make our own language. A black person, an Israelite can say something, and a Gentile will not know what they're talking about at all. What does this have anything to do with food, Elder? Take back your rightful position. You won't be able to do it if you're dead. You won't be able to do it if you're unhealthy. You won't be able to do it if you're not eating God's diet and listening to them. They're telling you you should wear some plastic that costs $500, whether it be a coat, purse, jacket. Let me tell you, go get that sewing machine and find some 100% linen, 100% cotton and make it happen. Or hey, go find it somewhere else. Their ways are not our ways. God's diet over man. So everything we are arguing about with each other, a lot of things you got from them and their gods. Them eating blood. Them eating food with no flavor. That's their style, guys. It is. This is the facts. Okay? Hey, them telling you don't eat no salt. Them telling you don't eat no red meat. And guess what? They're eating it, and they're eating it raw. They're eating the life of it. Showing you they don't care about a covenant because they know what our law says to don't eat blood, but they're eating it. Okay? So we went to that salt on all the levels. We went to the salt on all the levels to show you that we the spiritual salt, and our God said don't bring no salt. No sacrifice without salt. Okay? So it's no knock on Esau. Obviously, we have a bunch of Esau in our church. We love Esau, but we still have to speak the truth about our forefathers. We speak the truth about ours falling, the stupidity we bring every day. We have to speak the truth about both. It's what it is. Only the real will hear. Only the wise will hear. Huh? So let me go into these videos to show you. Let me show you a little something. Yes, we on here a little late tonight, and it's okay. I'm going to show you these videos, and then we're going to get out of here. That's all I have right now. No more scriptures. We got the video. I had to go through the scriptures, so I had to. So, and hopefully they're not that long, and they only take about a few minutes. Show you a few things to help you. What some people have went through themselves. And the great part about this is even Esau. Our forefathers, they shall come and say that our forefathers have surely taught us lies, as the scripture says. Let's talk about the woman first. The placenta. Eating meat and not eating meat. And the health of the placenta. The healthy state of the placenta. I want you to see this for your own eyes. For the so-called know-it-all vegans. I want you to see this. I need you to see this. Fair use for educational purposes only. Their beliefs is not our beliefs. We're just playing them to educate, the people. Fair use, educational, and religious purposes only. I want you to watch this really quick. I'm probably going to, I've been drinking a lot of water, so I'll be right back. But I want you to watch this really quick.
All right, guys, I am super excited to share with you the mini documentary that I did with Heart and Soil called Nourished. It's all about how the quality of the foods we eat affects pregnancy, postpartum, the preconception phase, and I think that a lot of the stuff you're going to see in this is going to blow your mind. Please share this with people in your life that can benefit. I want this to get the biggest reach possible. It's been available at Heart and Soil's YouTube channel for about a year, but I really wanted all of you guys to get the opportunity to see this. I don't want anyone to miss it, so enjoy this mini documentary with Heart and Soil Nourished. Again, please share with any couples, any men, any women you know that are thinking about becoming pregnant, becoming fathers, becoming mothers, who are struggling with pregnancy stuff, who are struggling with postpartum or preconception stuff. I think they're going to learn a lot from this. And I'm so proud of what we've done with this documentary. I know it's helped so many people. Enjoy this, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments, and let me know what we should make a mini documentary about next. See you guys later.
These placentas were mind-blowing. To have them side by side, to feel them side by side, was just sad.
Everywhere that I feel these hard little calcifications.
We first moved to Missoula in 2014 and lived in town for about 3 years, and then found this beautiful spot out in the country. We love the idea of growing as much of our own food as we can. not just with the garden, but also harvesting deer or elk in the hunting seasons and putting that meat in our freezer. Being able to source as much of your own food locally or from your own backyard is definitely the lifestyle that we're going for. Over the last 5 years, I was living the standard American lifestyle, eating the standard American diet, and didn't feel good, struggled to get pregnant, and didn't really know what I was doing wrong, thought I was doing all the right things. It can feel really daunting and really difficult at times, especially if you've been having fertility challenges and fertility struggles and a doctor is telling you or giving you a diagnosis of unexplained fertility, which is what I felt I was given. You think you're doing the right things and you feel like you're doing the right things, but it's not happening for you. It was a very difficult 1.5 years when we were trying to get pregnant and couldn't. I was very humbled in the beginning because it was very hard to experience what felt like some sort.
So I'm not going to show the whole thing, but I'm going to get to the meat and the potatoes really quick, okay? You can watch the whole thing if you want to. Let me skip forward.
Malfunction or deficiency. And I thought, oh my gosh, there's something wrong with my body. There's something wrong, and am I going to have infertility problems and all of this? I'm very grateful we went through that whole thing and I learned from it.
The fertility of our population today is declining rapidly, and it's pretty bad. These declines in our fertility are related to the way we're living today, clearly. Both the way we eat, which is increasingly poor in nutrients, and the things we're exposed to in our environments.
When we look at the standard American diet, what we see is women that are consuming no nutrient-dense foods. When we don't have these nutrients, what's happening is our fertility declines every single year. There's so many different causes. We can look at the glyphosates in food. We can look at the microplastics in our environment. But if we come back to supporting ourselves with food, we'll be able to move into navigating all of these environmental toxins.
It's pretty scary to think about all of the endocrine disruptors we're exposed to in our environment.
Wanting to avoid the hospital experience. And when they avoid this hospital experience, they don't realize that these recommendations for our nutrition are the most essential part of having a healthy pregnancy.
Are you still doing the lifeblood?
Yes.
Okay, how often are you doing that?
Every day.
Perfect, awesome.
In pregnancy, when we conceive a baby, we also start growing an organ. And this organ is intended to be with this baby throughout the whole plus or minus 40 weeks. And this is what feeds the baby. This is what nourishes the baby. This is the baby's home. And we, with growing this organ, have to look at what we're putting into our bodies. Today, we had the opportunity for me to look at 2 placentas side by side. One being a vegetarian placenta, and the other one being a mom that was very nutrient dense with the foods that she was eating with an.
So here we go. This is what I wanted to get to, the meat and the potatoes. I want you to first look, I'm not going to give it away. Look at the very red placenta and look at the one that's not as red. Obviously, you can see a lot of minerals, proteins, a lot of iron in the one that's very red. I'm not going to tell you which one is which, whether it's vegan or the person who's eating meat in their diets. I need you know-it-alls out there who's vegans to see that there's people who's actually doing studies on this who have went through these things to show you. Another thing, women need more iron than men, especially during their cycle because they lose a lot of blood. And if you're not eating nutrient-dense vegetables and the iron is not being absorbed correctly, you have to be very careful, okay? So you have to know what you need to eat to make sure you're getting your iron and your B vitamins, okay? So let's continue though.
Based diet. I cannot believe that we had the opportunity for me to look at 2 placentas side by side. One being a vegetarian placenta, and the other one being a mom that was very nutrient dense with the foods that she was eating with an animal-based diet.
A what? A animal-based diet versus a vegan placenta. You're going to see, you're going to be shocked.
The difference in the quality of the placenta. And not just the quality of the placenta, but in turn the nutrition of what the baby was growing in and what the baby received throughout the whole pregnancy. This one right here was from a mom that was primarily vegetarian throughout.
Before it even comes on, primarily vegetarian placenta. I don't even have to play no more of the video. For the people who I always stay quiet on this thing because people always thought that they knew it all and all that. Let me tell you, God is perfect already. You have to speak for him. He's already perfect.
Pregnancy. Towards the end of her pregnancy, I was able to get her on liver pills just because her iron had dropped so significantly. And this
she was eating all the vegetables with iron in there. So-called iron. You have to understand the science of how the iron works in vegetables and difference in meat. That's why I usually, when people ask me personally, I would say, hey, you need to be, as a woman, eating steak minimum 2-3 times a week, personally. And taking your herbs and whatever and eating your vegetables. You need to do both. Because there's fiber in the prebiotics in the vegetable. They are prebiotics to feed your probiotics. Okay? They eat the fiber, no different than when you throw scraps into your compost pile, the arthropods eat that. Your gut works the same way, guys.
is the placenta of a mom who was animal-based throughout her pregnancy. So she had lots of red meat, lots of pasteurized eggs, lots of raw milk.
Lots of red meat, lots of pasteurized eggs. God's diet.
And the difference
hold up.
This is the placenta of a mom who was animal-based throughout her pregnancy. So she had lots of red meat, lots of pasteurized eggs, lots of raw milk.
Lots of raw milk. God's diet.
And the difference.
Don't eat that dairy. Well, your child might be lacking in nutrition, guys. Blaming everything on the doctors, but you could be totally eating the wrong diet.
I mean, it's just obvious. There is such a huge, substantial difference in the quality and the consistency of these placentas. Over here, this is
the quality and the consistency. Let me tell you, let the elders that rule well. I don't need no double honor. I'm talking about the elder of all elders, God himself. Let him rule very well.
Calcification. If you feel it, it's hard. There's a little bit of like a sand-like, rock-like consistency, and this is throughout the whole entire placenta. This is not what we would want to see in pregnancy.
Hold up. Let me tell you, wisdom. Let me tell you, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, boy.
Never had a side-by-side comparison, and it's mind-blowing to me. It's really sad that this is the start of a baby's life. This is the start of their nutrition. This is what fed them. This is what housed them, and they, it's mind-blowing to see the comparison.
I've had midwives and doulas tell me that when they see the placenta, which is attached to the umbilical cord of vegans, they look a lot like a smoker's placenta. And we know the health of
the vegan's placenta looks a lot like a smoker's placenta. Hold on, Marlon. We don't want to talk about them eating no placenta. We trying to teach the people something right now. Please don't come on here interrupting my lesson, brother. Please, not right now. This is important for our people to learn. With all due respect. This is important right now for our sisters. I want my sisters' future babies to come out healthy. God's diet over man's. So that means that my lesson's not that important if we talk about something else. Focus, focus, focus. The vegan diet placenta looks like smokers. I'm not here to say I know it all. I'm not here to say I told you so. I'm here to bring out this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding so our people can know that our God has always been perfect in all his ways. We just have to get things in its, the best we can in its proper order of how he created it. And there's people out there doing it. When I'm going to Azure Standards, there's a bunch of white people taking grain off of the truck. And I've seen one black lady.
Critical connections, this tether between baby and mother, are intimately tied to the amount of animal products in the diet. We see it over and over illustrated.
If we have somebody that's eating animal-based...
After Adam fell, the flesh depends on the flesh. The spirit can eat the food the Most High designed for the spirit. That's all I was trying to tell you guys. Vegetables, you can't go in the strength of vegetables. He told Elijah, go in the strength of the meat. When you work out and you add more protein of animal products, you will be far more stronger than a person who's vegan. Far more stronger. There's no even comparison.
It's eating grass-fed, grass-finished meats on a regular basis. If we have somebody that's eating pasteurized eggs and raw dairy, then what we're going to see...
And that's even if you don't eat... There's other videos I have. Even if you didn't eat grass-fed, which if you have the money you can do, because I don't want to discourage people if they can't get grass-fed. Even because there's a lot of people who's on a carnivore diet, still far more healthier than vegans, not eating grass-fed beef, but eating beef. So that lie about that red meat was a total garbage lie. Because everybody obviously can't afford grass-fed beef. There's carnivore diets. I'm not telling you to jump on a carnivore diet. That's a bit extreme. I'm just telling you to eat God's diet. But they're far more healthier than vegans. Far more.
All of these vitamins, this retinol, this copper, that's all being pushed through the placenta and helping this baby sustain life. So when we look at the pregnancy piece, we also have to look at the
proof is in the pudding
piece. We know that when mothers are breastfeeding, that their nutrition matters just as much as pregnancy.
Some mothers can't breastfeed for one reason or another. And in that case, we run into problems. There are some formulas that are better than others out there, but I think that absolutely if someone can breastfeed, they should breastfeed.
If we look at the ingredients...
This is where I appreciate Esau. And I'm not talking about all Esau. I'm talking about the few who love the Most High and his creation, where they come along and they are in our captivity giving us this information because, hey, even they're going through the struggle of the devil with this. These are the people who we're watching right now who are going to be in the kingdom with us, who's trying to live according to the Most High God and not their wicked father. We can't live like our wicked forefathers, and neither can they live like their wicked forefather. Okay? So we have to appreciate when wisdom's coming out, regardless of where it's coming from.
It's a formula. It's hydrogenized vegetable oils. It's soy. It's artificial everything. There's actually a study that came out and that looked at SIDS. SIDS is sudden infant death syndrome. Out of every 90 babies that died of SIDS, 87 was formula fed. Just recently, there was a formula company that had recalls because of bacteria that was causing meningitis, among other things.
Fair use for educational purposes only. Their beliefs are not our beliefs. We're just putting it out for those who have ears to hear.
Critically important. Obviously, it is the best food for babies. We want mothers to breastfeed, but in order to make enough milk, mothers need to get enough calories from a nutrient-rich diet, and they need to get enough nutrients in that diet to make sure those nutrients get passed to the baby, and they need to avoid the common toxins in our environment, especially things like linoleic acid and seed oils and other toxins. Like
linoleic acids and seed oils, sunflower oil, grapeseed oil, canola oil. I mean, what is that? What's vegetable? What is that? What vegetables is it coming from?
Passed to the baby in the breast milk.
The number one thing that I recommend is starting that nose to tail ancestral eating. We look at grass-fed, grass-finished meats, and we look at really high quality fats. We want to eliminate
fats. Lubricate the joints. Help the cholesterol with the brain. All types of other things I can't say on here because it's algorithm. I mean, you know, how this AI does.
all of the PUFAs, the polyunsaturated fats. We want to eliminate all the vegetable and seed oils.
Vegetable and seed oils. Been telling people this for the last 16 years.
And make sure that anything that they're putting in their body is nothing but a nutrient-based powerhouse.
All right, so let me go to my next video. Let me tell you, boy, we gonna get you right like a kite and wind blowing to the east. I'm telling you right now. I'll go to that after. Let me see. Let me go to these videos. I want to try to get through them as much as possible because I had to, you know, I got to wake up early, so I want to get through them though. This is just her opinion. This is fair use, educational purposes only. These are people who tried it. I have personal people, but I have a lot of personal people who went to the hospital, had to get blood transfusions from being vegans. So these are just other people who I don't know, but I know a lot of personal people who went through this, okay?
Hi, I'm Shannon and I'm a recovering vegan. Today I'm going to explain the typical life cycle of a vegan. Firstly, you'll come across some vegan propaganda where you'll be convinced to try vegetarianism, but then you learn about the dairy industry and chicken periods, so you give up those two for the animals, your health, and for the planet. Initially, you feel great. This new diet is certainly
Initially, you feel great. It's a big detox. Obviously, when you detox anything, you're going to feel energy and feel great, but once you lack a certain nutrients that the body was depending on from the beginning of time, you're going to start to feel everything that comes with that. Depression, all of it, because you're actually lacking nutrients.
the standard American diet. You don't understand why the whole world isn't vegan until one day you realize you don't quite feel yourself anymore. You start feeling tired all the time. You're frequently hungry, bloated, or bruising easily. Your hair is thinning, but you never connect the dots that vegan.
Yeah, at first, my hair was growing, my skin was glowing. You detoxed. You need a detox. We all need a detox every now and then. We all need a parasite cleanse every now and then. Every 3 months is when I do it, and you have certain daily detoxes you can do as well. That's why I take MSM every single morning and night, because it's something that is a total amazing. Right?
Is doing this. After all, you can get everything you need from a vegan diet, right? Then comes the anxiety, depression, PMS, irregular cycles, dark circles, acne. Maybe your gums will bleed every so often. You go to your doctor, but your blood tests turn out fine. Your supplement list grows, but your symptoms remain. But one day the illusion is shattered. You become aware that a restricted diet filled with seed oils, superfoods, hard to digest vegetables, and ingredients shipped from halfway across the world isn't actually sustainable, cruelty-free, or healthy. Vegan is...
All right. That's just another person who just went through it. We're not done though. We're gonna show somebody who was on the meat. So we showed the vegetable. Now let's show the meat. I'm not suggesting you do either one. I'm suggesting you do God's diet, a well balance of both. But that's my suggestion. You have to follow me. Mine is not law. Okay. God's diet is perfect though. The fats, the sugars and the grains, with the proteins and the minerals. All right, I need to go to, what is it? Let me see. Fair use for educational purposes only.
Hey SB fam, welcome back to the channel. It's me, Bella the Steak and Butter Gal. As usual, I want to check in on you. How are you doing on your carnivore journey? I would love to read your updates, any victories you've celebrated, and what struggles you are currently going through. So if you're new to this channel, I wanted to just give a little backstory because today's video topic is all about the benefits that I have reaped as a carnivore. I'm going to cover all of the physical health benefits as well as all of the mental health benefits. I was a vegan for 6 whole years, 6 years straight, no break, no deviations. There are studies that do back up the power of eating the carnivore way on your mental health. I will link all studies that I mentioned down below in the description box. So let's start with my biggest mental health struggle, and that's anxiety. I am a pianist. I just remember when I was vegan, that was when I was deep into studying piano playing. I was a student in New York City, and I was trying to achieve the goals that I wanted to achieve, learn new pieces, and memorize them. As a pianist, it is a requirement to memorize everything that you perform on stage. I would have repertoire that I need to memorize that is an hour long, 60 minutes of music that I have to memorize. My anxiety got in the way whenever I had to walk on stage. The backstage stage fright.
She had anxiety from only eating vegetables, while God balanced us off with the fats, with the proteins, with the sugars. The sugars are going to give you, they're going to give you a little energy. The fats are going to give you energy. They're processed in different ways. You understand? I wanted to say something. I wanted you guys to notice something too, a good tip. How perfect the Most High is. You notice how all the animals that eats only grass and like little herbs, how they are the prey, and the predator is the one eating the meat. In strenuous situations when a lion is hunting, I mean, they can go, let me tell you, they go hard, they get knocked down, all of this stuff is going on. Notice how, if you do the research on people who only is eating grass, they always, I'm one with the earth, and they always calm. And that's a good thing. It's good to be calm. But the Most High wants a balance. He wants Judah to also rise up. Judah is not, rising up if you're only talking about, we drinking the juices. And, you really, if you ever worked out as a bodybuilder, you only drunk, let me tell you, if you was only eating protein, you have no energy because you're not drinking the sugars and the carbs, and vice versa. So you have to balance both out. But when you're eating animal protein, you actually feel more stronger. Your mind feels like you can conquer and do more. When you're only eating these things, the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the results. People are having anxiety, depression, and guess what? They're having a lot of health issues because they just don't do what exactly God said. Just do what He said. Eat exactly what He said, and you're going to be balanced on all levels with your hormones, with your emotions. You see what I'm saying? You're not going to just be one with the earth and, some hippie one with the earth. You're going to be able to, hey, have that attitude. Nobody ain't going to just take what's mine. It's the balance of both. And then you got your time where you can be calm and patient because now you got the vegetables to balance you out with both of them. Okay? You notice how nature teaches you that part. A bear, when he's going to hunt, bears eat grass too. They eat roots and things like that too, but they also eat meat. But when they eat that meat, they feel like they can just, you know what I mean? It's a balance. But not only the balance of the emotion and the spiritual side, it's also when it comes to the diet, okay? This is her experience here. She did it for 6 years. I know people who did it for more years, less years. And let me tell you what I'm coming to find out as I continue to study. They're all saying the same thing. Big detox.
Anxiety that I had to deal with, so difficult to get through that moment and actually walk on stage and even enjoy that moment of being on stage performing for so many people. The stage fright completely healed after I went carnivore. There's something so magical that people
call... The stage fright completely went away because she started to add in what the Most High said you can eat. Our bodies would depend on certain things when Adam failed and Eve failed. That's all I'm saying. It's the balance of both, just weights and just measures. Now, I wouldn't recommend that she only eat meat only, but they're still going to be better off than the person who's only eating vegetables. Why? Because the animal is eating the minerals, they're eating the vitamins, and all of it, it's in that steak. But now you're really not getting any fiber, right? To feed your probiotics. So then they have to go and actually try to take enzymes to digest. So no, you want to eat both. And then, you know, if you only eat too much steak and you're not having enough salt or electrolytes, that can become an issue. So there's issues that can become with only eating carnivore and only eating vegan. Just eat both of what God told you so you can balance it all off. If you don't eat fats, you can't just eat olive oil as a fat. You want to also eat some of the dairy as a fat in its raw form if you can, because it's going to give you the probiotics and the fats and more proteins and so many different things you probably don't even know about. Stop listening to these people telling you, oh, you're not supposed to cook anything. You're not supposed to cook vegetables. Are you kidding me? Have you ever ate some beans without cooking them? Are you kidding me? So you telling me people just supposed to go around eating raw garlic and smelling like some raw garlic all day? You don't listen to these fools out there.
The carnivore confidence that you get to enjoy once you just change your diet and eat the right foods. I did struggle with depression. It was during the years where I was trying to figure myself out, teenage years, but also my early 20s. I'm currently 27, just turned 27. And I think for anyone trying to figure themselves out, especially in your early 20s, it's that much more difficult when you have to deal with anxiety and depression and stress and pressure every single day. When I went carnivore, it really felt like that cloud of depression just lifted. I was no longer anxious all the time. I was actually confident when I...
Well, my sister, if you can't drink cow milk, you need to try kefir. You need to try yogurt. You need to try cottage cheese, because the dairy, especially in its raw form, you don't have to eat in its raw form, but it's better. Let me tell you, it's going to change your life. That's all I'm saying. You don't have to drink milk, but there's some benefits to drinking raw milk, yogurt. Let me tell you, it's a lot of benefits. You can deal with sauerkraut. You can deal with different types of probiotics as well. But I'm just saying, God's diet will always be perfect. But do what's best for you, right?
On stage, and I killed my concerts. Killed in the best way possible.
Who knew meat can do all of that?
And I concerts. So just wanted to share, that aspect, my anxiety. It was very much centered around being a performer. I pursued my master's degree in New York City at the Juilliard School. Having to put up with the amount of stress and pressure of being a student there, it got so much easier when I became carnivore as well. So my resilience to...
Her eating meat pushed her through her whole college and everything. So I'm just saying, guys.
Stress, my ability to take a lot of stress and perform the best under pressure, that was really fascinating to experience once I went carnivore, because I almost felt like, bring it on. The harder the better, the more stress and pressure the better, because I just kept performing better and better under pressure and under a lot of stress. So I really enjoyed that. Probably one of my favorite benefits actually is I just perform so well when I am under some type of pressure now. Whereas I would always crack under pressure when I was vegan, even when I was on a standard Chinese diet. It's because of the carbs, the sugars, the processed foods, the junk that I was eating. It was amazing to experience that drastic of a change in my mental health, in my daily mood. I would love to hear your experiences on that. Feel free to share if you felt it, or maybe you haven't, your thoughts down below in the comments. This is where I want to shine a light on mental health and what we can do to nurture and take.
All right, so I just wanted to give her experience, how she needed to add something the Most High said that you can eat back in her actual diet. Okay. Let me see here. Let's go. Wait 1 second. I can go there later, but I was gonna go where the lab grown meat, but we already know that they're coming with that. I want to show the importance of fair use for educational purposes only.
Key to a healthy and pain-free lifestyle could have been given to us thousands of years ago. Did we overlook it? Many ancient scriptures and spiritual teachings, including the Bible, weigh in on how we should eat. People in the Bible allegedly lived to be 120 years old or more. Methuselah.
I don't know who these pictures of these people they showing, but we focusing on the diet itself. So these people, I don't know who these people are right here. There's made some good drawings, but it ain't Israelites. I'll tell you right now.
The oldest person in the Bible was said to have died at 969 years old. Later, I'm going to tell you about a specific food in the Bible now getting lots of attention for its ability to slow aging and degeneration.
Who are these cats?
What do you think it is? I'll give you one clue. Jesus was fond of it. Maybe you can let that roll around in your head for a minute. But be sure to stick around to the end of the video if you want to know what that miracle food is. Today, we're taking a closer look at a few of the healthy foods found in the Bible. Let's see how they stack up with what we know about healthy eating in the present day. My name is Dr. Paris, and I specialize in helping people with chronic pain conditions such as arthritis. I've realized that we must, and of course, inflammation, pain, and aging go hand in hand. The Bible's teachings tell us that we should take exceptional care and responsibility over our bodies as spiritual vessels. So, what does the Bible recommend we do to achieve extraordinary
Stop
results?
showing these pictures,
Four
bruh.
key concepts rise to the surface throughout the Bible: cleanliness, good nutrition, fasting, and exercise. Something you might find even more interesting is that many foods noted in the Bible have proven therapeutic properties. So, what are the healthy foods mentioned in the Bible?
There we
The Bible
go.
talks about eating foods you find on a modern-day healing diet. Many foods are even anti-inflammatory. In fact, if you were to follow a biblical diet to a T, meaning you eat only the foods recommended in the Bible, you would probably lose weight and feel less pain. One of the foods most noted in the Bible is a sweet treat still enjoyed by many today. The food item number 1 never spoils. 2 has all the ingredients needed to keep you alive. And number 3 has been used as currency. Did you guess what it is? Honey is the first on the list. The Bible mentions honey many times, and it would have been quite the commodity back then since there was no processed sugar. Of course, all honey in biblical days would have been local and raw, so only the good stuff would have been in circulation. And the quality of honey would be much different than what we see today. When you purchase honey, you should ensure it's at the very least pure honey. Local, raw, and organic honey is even better. Buying local honey is better because beehives closer to home will actually feed off the same flowers that cause allergies. So what happens is when you eat the honey, you ingest micro amounts of those allergens, allowing your body to respond to building a defense against it. And then, hopefully, the next time you become exposed to that allergen, your body won't react as much. Honey's a great natural sweetener and energy source. It's also chock full of antioxidants that help boost the immune system and fight off disease. Honey is also antibacterial and great for promises to bring the Israelites to a land flowing with milk and honey. When I say milk, I'm not talking about the pasteurized and processed milk most people drink. People in biblical days drank raw milk, which is much different. In fact, numerous people who thought they were allergic to milk have done perfectly fine with raw milk, and even seen an improvement in their allergy symptoms. This is thought to be due to transfer factors found in raw milk. Though the FDA has made it clear they don't think we should ingest raw milk due to harmful bacteria that could be present. However, pasteurization removes many of the beneficial components of milk. What's left isn't all it's cracked up to be. Research rich in healthy fats like omega-9, which can actually help lower cholesterol.
Olives.
Heated safely up to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Olives are rich in healthy fats like omega-9, which can actually help lower cholesterol. They also contain antioxidants known to fight bacteria and viruses, including MRSA. Olives also have bone and skin-loving nutrients like vitamin E, A, calcium, and copper. The fourth healthy food found in the Bible is fish. Again, There are some controversies surrounding the consumption of certain meats. Some don't believe we should eat crustaceous fish like shrimp and lobster according to the Bible. But the focus here is on the health aspects of biblical foods. Fish, especially cold water fish, ranks among the health.
Now, we Israelites, we follow the law. So you got to understand, we're just pretty much renaming what I already showed. Okay? But actually, he's taking a little too long for me to get to his point. So, 1 second. I'm going to show one more video before I close out with these. Let me see. What is it? You know what? I'll show that one when I do the bread itself. I'll show the bread video when I show the bread itself, okay? One second.
There are prebiotics, probiotics, and
fair use
postbiotics. Probiotics are the good bacteria found in supplements and fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, and sauerkraut. They help balance gut flora, which is crucial for digestion.
Another diet of the Most High. Yogurt. You hear the dairy again. You hear the sauerkraut. That's those vegetables. You got that fiber. You got the fermented food. So we need to get more fermented foods in our diet. That's a diet of God. Wine. That's why they told, when Paul said, drink no more water, but drink wine, because sometimes they did not have clean water. So they would add actual wine to the water to put probiotics in the water so that they can actually be able to drink the water so that they would not get more parasites. This is a fact, okay? So probiotics, you need to drink more foods. Obviously, you want to take some probiotic supplements. You want to take sauerkraut, kefir. And obviously, we have to supplement now because the food is so weak. So you want to try to balance all of these things off, guys. Sometimes you're going to get, some things that are not as strong as coming out your own ground. So, I mean, but at least it's transitioning you to where you're eventually living a raw life, getting raw honey, getting raw milk, getting raw butter, making your raw butter, getting your own chicken eggs. You'll eventually get there, okay?
Immune function, and even mental health. Prebiotics are fiber-packed foods like stalks and stems that feed the probiotics in your gut so they can thrive. Postbiotics are metabolites.
So like I told you, we are made from the ground. So the ground is the same thing as our gut. The same thing that happens in the ground when you compost vegetables and how the arthropods and the worms eat that stuff, the same thing happens in our gut, guys, with the probiotics. Okay? The prebiotics feeds the probiotics when you eat the vegetables. That's how it works. Same process.
Short-chain fatty acids, enzymes, and peptides created when probiotics digest prebiotics. They strengthen your gut barrier and support your immune system. Supplement with probiotics and supply them with plenty of prebiotics from leafy green, kale, onion, and garlic.
Okay? So I'll show you really quick how you can make it very simple, because I know some people are like, Elder, I don't like to eat that. Little quick video for you just to help you guys, because I know a lot of our people are not used to eating this certain type of diet, but we have to get there. Okay, 1 second.
Food for your gut health.
Fair
and
use.
Tzatziki's spicy twin, Rawchaa. The live bacterial cultures like Lactobacillus and Bifidobacterium found in the Greek yogurt are known as probiotics. And you can find probiotics, living organisms, in other types of fermented food like sourdough bread. The tomatoes, cucumbers, green chilies, and finely diced red onions all contain prebiotics, a type of fiber. The prebiotics in the spices and vegetable act as fertilizer for the probiotics in the yogurt. The probiotics in the yogurt feed off the prebiotic fibers in the vegetables. You can't really digest prebiotics, but in your gut, the probiotics can, and they end up pooping out something known as postbiotics. And postbiotics, bacterial poop, are the gut-friendly chemicals like short-chain fatty acids like butyrate. Add in some salt to taste, and remember, if you combine Greek yogurt and spices and vegetables, you get the complete food for your gut health and Tzatziki's spicy twin, Rawchaa. The live bacterial cultures like Lactobacillus and...
That's why they eat this way on the Mediterranean, okay? You got your tzatziki. So you got your fiber, which is your prebiotics, and you have your yogurt, which is your probiotics. It's going to help fertilize and feed the probiotics with the yogurt. Charge that thing up. When you put it in your gut, let me tell you, it's ready to go.
The bacterium found in the Greek yogurt are known as probiotics. And you can find probiotics, living organisms, in other types of fermented food like
Kimchi is a healthy fermented food. Yes, Lamisha Thomas. Yep, you got it right. Kimchi is very similar to sauerkraut, okay? Just the Asian way to do it.
bread. The tomatoes, cucumbers, green chilies, and finely diced red onions all contain prebiotics, a type of fiber. The prebiotics in the spices and vegetable act as fertilizer for the probiotics in the yogurt. The probiotics in the yogurt feed off the prebiotic fibers in the vegetables. You can't really digest prebiotics, but in your gut, the probiotics can, and they end up pooping out something known as postbiotics. And postbiotics, bacterial poop, are the gut-friendly chemicals like short-chain fatty acids like butyrate. Add in some salt to taste. And remember,
you heard that? The postbiotics are your fatty acids. Are you guys learning? The postbiotics is the poop from the probiotics, all to help your gut function. Come on, guys.
This count as
Pay
plant-based
attention.
food, bit of chili, some roasted and ground cumin seeds. And there you have it. Prebiotics plus probiotics equals postbiotics. The complete gut-friendly package. Bon appetit.
So we have to start eating this way on the regular to keep that gut healthy. Sauerkraut, yogurt, kimchi, kombucha. I don't want to miss out anything. I mean, there's so many things. I mean, we even take some of the pine needle leaves. My daughter takes some of the pine needle leaves off of the tree. It makes a nice, it tastes like a flat Sprite, but it's, hey, and it does a lot for the 2020. Let me tell you, but that you put some ice and some lemon with that thing, ooh, boy, that thing tastes like a flat Sprite. But it came off of my pine tree, and I'd be telling my daughter, baby, make me some more of that. They put a little sugar in that thing, and let me tell you, you got you a probiotic drink. Okay? So guys, if you don't start to eat God's diet, this is what you have to look forward to. This is what you have to look forward to in the grocery stores. It's time for us to practice. Right now, our God is giving us time to transition ourselves. It is time for us to start transitioning ourselves because they are trying to take away the daily sacrifice. Fair use for educational purposes only. Lab-grown meat isn't on store shelves yet, but some states have already banned it. So they're fighting to get this done, right? Earlier this month, both Florida and Alabama banned the sale of cultivated meat and seafood, which is grown from animal cells. In Iowa, the governor signed a bill prohibiting schools from buying lab-grown meat. Federal lawmakers are also looking to restrict it. It's unclear how far these efforts will go. Some cultivated meat companies say they're considering legal action in some states, like Tennessee, shelf proposed bans after lawmakers argued they would restrict consumer choices. Okay, so this is where things are going. Hey, they may not have it yet, but eventually there's a lot of places where a lot of you guys stay, and a lot of us stay, that will be having these type of things on the shelf. So we might want to get it together. We might. It's already a lot of things in the U.S. that places in Europe don't even serve. Canada and the U.S. is serving us garbage. Okay, they're serving us garbage. Okay. So, and you're not exempt just because you eat vegetables. I think we already proven that already, though, in this lesson. I don't think, if somebody try to come back to that, they're a zombie. They're just a total zombie. That's just what that is. Their conscience is seared with a hot iron, like the Bible says. Fair use for educational purposes only. Cell-based, this is from greenqueen.com-HK. Cell-based blueberries, anyone. What is lab-grown fruit, and is it a food security solution? With climate change threatening crop growth and food security in many places, scientists, falsely so-called, are hoping to create lab-grown fruit with usual discarded parts of fruits. Wait, hold up. With usually discarded parts of fruits like apple cores and orange peels. While the process is some years away and may not come to fruition, The potential is exciting for the future of food. Are you kidding me? Who is writing this article? How is that exciting for you to give me some composted fruit, take it to a lab, and cut it and serve it to me? You ain't no different than a fruit dope dealer. You is no different than that. Telling us to eat trash while you're underground or in a spaceship with the fallen angels, Elysium or something like that, and you got total gardens up there and underground. Are you kidding me? This is where it's coming. Why you want to try to start transitioning yourself to eat God's diet, because God's diet is very basic, and you have to learn how to do everything from scratch, which tastes a lot better. Your pasta from scratch is a lot better. Your grinded bread is a lot healthier and better for you, which we're going to do very soon. I'm going to show in my kitchen that bread being made. We're going to do the show right in my kitchen. I'm going to set it up right in my kitchen. I'm going to give me a bar stool, right, on my marble counter, and we're going to show that thing coming out the oven, and we're going to show you what grains you can get. I'm going to show the different grains that I have. We're going to do it up for you. So that's what will be coming. I pray to the Most High that I can do it next week, no later than the next week. But I think we will be able to do it next week. I'm going to help my wives and my daughter help me to prepare this thing. And guess what? I'm gonna be taking my show to my kitchen and showing you this bread. Okay? So it's going to be exciting. So I'm not going to even go into the bread article right now. I'll go into that next week. And then I'm going to have to be eating some of this bread on camera. And guess what? It's going down. So if you see me eating some of that good old bread on camera, don't get jealous. It's just that good. But anyway, that's what I'm telling you. As a matter of fact, if you guys want to know which type of wheat to order, and I'll even show you which bread grinders again that you can order. Look, Malak talking about he gonna be here being the taste tester. Oh crap. Look, he just invited himself. Yeah, I'm gonna be there. My brother crazy. Okay, so let me show you guys which berries you can order. So, and now listen, these are the most expensive ones. You don't actually have to order these. But when you don't order these, you're just going to know it's nothing bad. Like, listen, I like the bread the way it is, but if you are a person who's like, no, I want it to taste like the store, some people are adding like sunflower lecithin, which is not even harmful for you. It's not harmful. And some people will add a little bit more gluten, my wife is saying, to try to get that soft texture. But because we get some of the expensive flour as well, like spelt in kamut, the kamut, my wife is saying actually, and if you have your bread grinder instead of your hand, actually helps to, and you can do it with your hand, you just got to do it for a long time. But if you're a busy mom taking care of a lot, invest in that bread mixer from wherever you're going to get it, from Temu, Walmart, Amazon. It's going to help your bread come out a lot softer, and you're adding a little kamut in it. So you don't have to get kamut and spelt, but kamut is the top wheat, okay? Just so you know. But I'm just going to say hard red wheat. You might have to come back and listen to it because I'm not typing it. Hard red wheat, hard white wheat, soft white wheat, spelt and kamut are exceptional if you want to add them to it, okay? But the bread already has gluten in it. They're just adding more to make it soft like the modern day. Personally, I tell my wife, I don't care about how the modern day is. I'm accepting it how Christ them ate the bread. If it was some nice and strong, rough, black people, Israelite bread like how our hair is, that's how I'm going to eat it, because that's what's good to go through and scrape my gut with the beautiful fiber, proteins, vitamins, and minerals that it has, okay? And I'm going to show you what you can add to your bread to, my wife corrected me. Einkorn. Einkorn makes it soft. So we have einkorn as well. Spelt kamut and einkorn. Einkorn is superior, when it comes to wheat. So we have einkorn, spelt kamut, soft white wheat, hard red wheat. I get the 50-gallon. I get the 50-gallon things and make sure I put them things away. And, you get some 5-gallon buckets to keep it in, some little glass jars. And you can have it for you and your family, last a long time because it's so dense, you can't eat a lot of it. But if you have a big family, you make a loaf, Man, they eat peanut butter and jelly with that thing. Let me tell you, my kids be up in that thing. The babies is making their own grilled cheese sandwich. They be up in that thing, whipping it up with them eggs that come from that chicken in the morning. First thing they do when they wake up in the morning being homeschooled, they go feed the animals. They take the goats out. They go get the chicken eggs, feed the chickens. This is how it goes. All right. So it's a beautiful thing to eat the Most High's diet. So hopefully we'll get some cow milk or some goat milk real soon. So kamut is spelled Kamut. Einkorn, Einkorn. Okay, so those are some of the wheats that you can get. All right. So yeah, we don't want to be eating no recycled, because we can recycle our own fruit. We can put it in the compost. You can put the orange peels and make it cleaner. You can put it in your, like I said, your compost, or you can take the apple cores and make you some apple vinegar, because apple vinegar is way expensive right now. And what's her name who bought it? Katy Perry with Bill Gates, who owns now A-Peel. This A-Peel garbage, A-P-E-E-L. A-P-E-E-L. This is some type of new label they have on the fruits, total GMO, and they're taking over with the Bragg's apple vinegar, guys. Vinegar is so easy to make. So easy to make and cheap. You take your old apple cores, your pears and all that, you make your own vinegar. You can make so many different types of vinegar. You can have a 5-gallon bucket or more of vinegar. It's time for us to learn, guys. It's time for us to learn. So I'm not going to be on here anymore longer. I just want to show you, okay, a few of these things here tonight. Obviously, I showed you a lot, but we'll talk about the bread, because if I go into that, it's going to open up a whole nother can of worms. So we're going to try to, Most High willing, do that next week. I'm excited. I'll have them make what the different type of loaves are, and what they taste like, the texture, and all of the things you need to know. And obviously, we'll give you some sources that you can watch if you want to continue to educate yourself and continue to grow and maybe even become better than us. Hey, and as a nation, we can all get better and share our recipes and things like that. But we've been doing it for a long time now, and I don't want to eat any bread from the store. My wife knows I don't want to go out to eat. I need to know what y'all cooking tonight, because the food is that good. All I need is my pizza oven now, out of the brick. So anyway, Azure Standard is the cheapest site. They have some, and they have really good quality. Obviously, you can always get different. I don't see any flaws in their quality. I mean, some YouTubers say there's some sites where I bought grain from other sites. I personally didn't really taste the difference. But you want to get non-GMO and organic. You don't want to get any wheat that's sprayed, because you're defeating the purpose. I'm just telling you the truth right now. Just listen to what I'm trying to tell you. You want to get non-GMO and organic. It's going to just cost you about $5 more, and it's already cheap. And when you get it from Azure Standards, you must remember, you have to help them unload it from the truck. They're going to pull out some little signs of people's names of their orders. They might put you in a little WhatsApp group or Telegram group, I don't know, depending on the person in your area. They're going to tell you where the 18-wheeler is going to pull up for your area, the closest area. Okay, so and you have to get out and help put the items there, unload the truck. It's kind of like a little community thing, and it's mostly Esau. It's kind of scary, because I seen one black old lady there, and when she's seeing that, she's like, okay, somebody's in the know. So let's make sure we educate ourselves, but I'm going to do my best to teach you what I know. I don't know everything, but what I do know, because I've been eating from this for a long time. We haven't bought no bread from the store in a long time. Okay? So you can make your sandwich bread. You can, all the different types of breads. You sisters know what I'm talking about. So many different types of breads. The reason I'm telling you to order all of these different type of wheats, some wheat is going to make your biscuits, your muffins, your pancakes, and some wheat is going to, you have to mix to make your cakes, to make it close as possible to the modern day. So you have to know what you're doing. You can't just put any wheat and be like, Elder, it ain't working out. So All right. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I got to get up. Pray for me. I got back day tomorrow. I mean, there's so many people getting motivated for this gym. One day I need to come on here and just do a show on how key supplements have helped you. Because I mean, I hear so many powerful testimonies, and I mean, hey, a sister, I don't remember your name, sister, but when I came to the and it wasn't only you, it was a few people, but I know her, I remember her, she said that she was supposed to get some surgery. I have to be careful how I word it on here because, you know, YouTube. But she said, hey, I took these supplements and I don't have to get no surgery. I was going through this for years, and so many people, you know, being helped. And that's why I started this company. A lot of people will think, oh, he's just selling some supplements like everybody else. Let me tell you, no, our supplements actually works. I didn't really make it look fancy. Yes, I'm going to update some of the labels sometime just to make it fun and everything like that, more marketing. But my main thing was make sure it works. And let me tell you, baby, the female enhancement, called it Multiply, the Ultra Test, the Arginine, I mean, you talking about every supplement works. The vision support, I got testimonies on that. And that's powerful because it's a lot of people who sells things that does not actually work. People, hey, I can see better from our vision support. Berberine and Ultra Test together. Berberine and female enhancement when it comes to the fat. I mean, let me tell you right now. I mean, those are not the testimonies that I'm excited about. Those are good too, but it's the ones that's like people are like, nah, like I could have been here. I could have been this or that. This being consistent with this actually changed my life. And I couldn't sit there with them for, you know, a long time talking about it, but I can tell you it's stuck in my head, and I was thanking the Most High for helping my people in another way. Listen, I started it because I was that guy who could not squat anymore, who could not walk sometime because of the knee pain. And when I, you know, got that MSM, boy, I could tell you that hair, let me tell you, that hair started just growing crazy. You know what I'm saying? And the knees as a man, you want to make sure you got your knees. And I said, man, this MSM is something else. I got to be able to share this with the people. So I'm grateful that I can help you guys with these things. We appreciate all your support, but we appreciate us being able to support you. And I got a lot of older people calling too. I mean, and let me tell you, it's a lot of older people calling and they're getting help. But I want you to keep this in mind. I want you to take the supplements. And this is one I take every morning because as I get older, some old injuries, I need that blood flow in the morning. Some old injuries that may try to tighten up the muscle, or if you drink a little wine and it's like, hey, the nerves want to try to get tight. No, I make sure I get this arginine and ashwagandha, MSM every morning, moringa. You know, I love it because it makes me feel amazing. But this is the thing. Guys, start bodybuilding. Start running. Start getting out in the garden. Start getting that sunlight. Okay, start eating a healthy diet. Start eating what we told you tonight, God's diet, while you're taking the supplements so they can actually not only work, but like everything's working at one time. And I'll give you a tip, just a quick tip. Protein makes you lean, carbs make you large. Try to balance them out. Me and my family, you know, a little bit more meat than they told us we could eat. You have certain people, we got in the truth, oh, I just eat a little bit of meat. You only eat a little bit of meat. Let me tell you, I was not able, hold up, let me show you one more video. This is a video I didn't show you. And let me show you this video really quick before we get out of here. This is a video why I'm telling you our diet is changing to the even more because the growth of the children. And I'm seeing a difference because my children work out every single morning as if, you know, they're in PE. They have their own PE session. Their workout is brutal. when my gym is finished being built, when you see Lions kids work out, oh my goodness, they work out. I mean, Daddy do 1,000 reps, but I mean, they do 100 reps of jump squats. I saw my baby. She's getting ready to be 12. She's like the little workout leader. And you talking about my son. My son ain't nothing but about, 6 years old. You know, you got the baby works. She likes to work out with him. She ain't nothing but 2. They do the 100 jump squats. And this is just a little bit of part of work. I ain't giving you the whole thing. They do 100 jump squats, and I watch them. They motivate me. And they went into 10 seconds of rest into 100 squats. And I said, boy, and they were not tired. I mean, it was no one breathing hard. I mean, I guess they've been doing it for so long. I said, goodness gracious. They're ready for let me tell you, they're ready for the so-called apocalypse with that workout. So I'm so proud of them, man. And it shows the diet is helping with that. So, I mean, that's an extreme workout right there, boy. And it's no breathing hard. I'm like, whoa, I don't want to change that from you guys. But I want to show you this really quick. Protein.
Talk about ADD, ADHD, autism. Back when I was
fair use for educational purposes only.
no such thing as those things, right? 1980, 1 out of 150,000 kids had autism. Year 2000, it's 1 out of 150. Today, it's 1 out of 88. And basically, when I was a kid, all 4 of my grandparents from Eastern Europe, they were beet farmers and beef farmers. So for breakfast, I would have cheese and beets and beef and eggs. I didn't have those types of diseases. 20 years later, kids are being fed on these box cereals full of processed carbohydrates with sugar on it. They're getting apple juice. How can you build a brain 75% by weight? It's cholesterol.
And the apple juice is not the apples that they're not juicing some organic apples. It's totally different when you get organic juiced apples and you get some apple juice with some apple juice that's mixed with water and sugar. Totally different. I don't even buy that garbage. Listen, please don't ever serve me some orange juice from the store. I don't drink any juice from the store. If it's not juiced, like in a section of probiotic juice, like actually juice, please don't ever bring me to, because it's garbage. I don't get any juice from the store. If it ain't coconut water, hold up. Yeah, you can hear me. I'm on. Don't ever bring me any of that juice from the store. That's what I'm saying. Please. It's not juice. You take your stuff and juice it yourself. You can add your own water and sugar if you want to stretch it. Because they've been finding all types of, diseases in this juice. Even the best ones.
So now all they're getting is carbohydrates and sugar, and they're going crazy.
Right. Not only are they deficient, but it's costing them nutrients to process all that stuff.
Exactly. So it makes the nutritional deficiencies worse.
Even worse, right?
I take kids that haven't spoken in 11 years, start feeding them eggs, you get them on the 90 essential nutrients, which is what we feed animals, the 90 essential nutrients, 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 essential amino acids, 3 essential fatty acids. After 11 years of now speaking, I have kids who can read the Bible out loud in churches.
So the video volume is very low, but he's just showing in the old days when they were eating God's diet, eggs, cheese, because you got the fats in the cheese, you got everything in God's diet. I got the protein, the fat, the cheese, the minerals. And, the box cereal, they're adding these fake minerals. And guess what's happening? Malnutrition. See? Malnutrition. Food for thought that you need to think about what type of food you're going to get in the store. Okay? That you're going to buy and what you have bought. No pun intended. I'm going to leave you guys here. I want to make sure that you guys go to KIIYsupplements.com. Make sure you get what you need to get for you and your family. I want to make sure that you guys are well studied. So make sure that you guys go to our Hebrew and Bible Academy. This truth is influencing the whole world. I got so many people hitting me up. And, the work is powerful. That's all I'm going to say. You wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even know. You would think some people who's not watching you, who who some people you watch on YouTube and you like, man, that's amazing. So it's just it's a powerful thing of what this work does. Christ over all. Okay? Most High over all. God's diet over man. HistoryTimes.org is our Bible academy and school. Make sure you guys get into it. I am Elder Rawchaa. Thank you for tuning in with me tonight. Thank you for those of you who are supporting this channel. Make sure you guys are subscribed. If they try to unsubscribe you, make sure you subscribe. We want to bring this channel, like our other channel, to as much subscribers. We want to bring it there. So make sure you guys are subscribed. We need support in both channels so we can get this truth out to our people, okay? We appreciate all your help. We love you. I'm glad I seen all of you guys, got to hug you guys. I got to actually sit and talk with some people this time, and I'm usually just being able to take a picture, but I actually have to talk with some people a little longer. But boy, we're going to be in the wilderness together, being able to do it a little more. So make sure you guys, I guess we'll talk about soon what you guys should be planning for summer. I probably should do that as well. Or maybe I'll do a short for you and just put a short up. Sometime I'll put shorts on here as little reminders instead of doing a full lesson on that. Peace and blessings. I got to get me a little grub. It's pretty late. It's 11 o'clock. I need to be in bed at least by 12 to still give me 8 hours of sleep before I got to go do what I need to do. Shalom. Peace and blessings. HistoryTimes.org.
The Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book. And the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and